In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Friday Free-For-All. And boy, what a Friday is it, man. We have a slam-packed show today. The Carolina Panthers have a brand new rock star offensive coordinator. His name is Ben McAdoo. And listen, we're going to talk about it here today on your show, the Friday Free-For-All, where you get to make your opinion and your voice heard on this matter. You can join the Streamyard. The link is in the description box of the Facebook and the YouTube video. And I posted the link in the chat box here on YouTube. And nothing to it but to do it. Let me introduce some of these fantastic guests I have joining me today. Let's start with my man, Tony Dunn, Cat Chronicles, joining us on this free-for-all. Tony, what's up, brother?
Hey, guys. We got Ben McAdoo as a new offensive coordinator. I know at first that you guys are not going to be happy and excited by this name because all you can think of are those times in New York as a head coach where he wasn't a good head coach, his poorly tailored suit, his weird mustache that looks like some sort of pedophilic slick back. He kind of looks. Have you guys ever seen Boondock Saints?
Yeah.
He looks like Ron Jeremy. Like he reminds me of that greasy, sweaty Ron Jeremy in Boondock Saints. No, it sucks. He doesn't even like our own quarterback. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, there's so much.
It's not that bad. It's not as bad as y'all think because it was already worse than you thought.
Exactly. Dude, there's so much to discuss in relation to Ben McAdoo. Also, him 2 times having applied to be the quarterback's coach here in Carolina. Yeah, he didn't get it. Now he's the offensive coordinator. Yeah, that's a real story.
Interviewed twice.
Yeah. Damn. Then we'll go to Drew up in Maine, dude. It's cold up there where you are, bro. Stay warm, brother. How are you, man?
But all right, man. It's about -4, about -4, -6. I'm out here grilling steak tips on the grill, but I couldn't miss this.
Oh man,
you look like Mac Jones in that game.
Yeah, don't get distracted by your breath.
Yeah, right. Dude, but happy you're able to join us, man. Kevin Boshoven. Kevin, what's going on with you, bro?
Not much, just chilling. I'm drinking on some wine. I'm gonna need it for McAdoo, but whatever.
Woo. Sipping. I feel you, man. It's the time of, dude. It's the time. This types of news, it makes you want to drink. It definitely makes you want to drink. Nick Montero. Nick, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Cody? Been looking forward to this all day, but man, McAdoo, come on, he's no rock star.
Come on, dude. Didn't you see the thumbnail I posted? Dude, he looks perfect. Shredding them fucking tunes, man.
He'll be perfect for sending Matt Rule to the unemployment line. That's about it.
Yeah, maybe that's our new interim head coach. We better not speak too soon. Kenneth Panther Pickle, what's going on, bro? Hey, you're muted.
You're muted.
Can't hear you.
There I am.
There you go.
If I was David Tepper, the middle of the season, I had the choice. Keep Matt Rule to the end of the year and get a better draft pick. And I know he's supposed to talk that way. Or fire Matt Rule and put Ben McAdoo in charge. Which one would you do? I believe I'd just keep it like it is. I mean,
dude,
you're not getting an improvement there.
It's a legitimate question, man. And how about this? He now probably has the most tenure of any Panthers coach that we have, man. This guy has the most NFL experience. He's done it, man. He's been there, done that. But we're certainly going to discuss it. The next man up has maybe the best golden pipes in all of YouTube. That wonderful voice, my man, CK, Codizzle Allen. What's going on, brother?
Oh, just out here, hearing this news, living life. I'm going to bring maybe a more optimistic look out to this as well. as we continue this discussion. But happy to be here with you boys, and able to actually have some juicy stuff to talk about on this FFF.
I know, man, dude. The Friday free for all could not have come at a better time, man. On a better day too. It's like the football gods knew that there was a free for all to be had. I love it. This next man is an angel investor of all of Panther Nation on YouTube, man. You know him, you love him. It's Jay Stubbs. Jay Stubbs, what's up, bro?
How y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. We got this new offensive coordinator to talk about. I see some negative opinions already in the chat. I see some people trying to pump the brakes, saying, "Hey, it might be okay." But there's a lot of different angles that we can approach this from. 100%. So it ought to make for a good discussion. And last but certainly not least, my man Alex, A1 Panther. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Heard the news. It's news.
It's news.
It is what it is. So look, man, without further ado, let's just jump into this bad boy. Let's have a free for all. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell for every single time we go live. Gentlemen, let's jump into it. Ben McAdoo is the new offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. As I mentioned before, he had interviewed to be the quarterback's coach here in Carolina 2 times previous and didn't get the job. This man is now the new offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. This is your show. Y'all hear me talk all the time. Who wants to jump on this first?
I guess he failed upwards.
To move up.
Yeah, he failed upwards.
Yeah. And you know what? It could be worse. I mean, really, I'm sorry. Look at all the candidates that he had talked to. It could be worse. At least Ben McAdoo has had success in the league as an offensive coordinator, and he has experience calling plays. I heard on the radio today, and I didn't do no research myself. I just believe in what I heard on WFNZ. He really loves the no huddle, and he's had when he was offensive coordinator before they gave him the head coach job. When he was offensive coordinator, he had actually was looking really well.
One thing we got to understand too is, man, like let's be real. Like, who was coming here that's gonna be good? Like, nobody was coming here. Like, we're lucky we got him, to be honest. The dude interviewed how many times?
Yeah,
and, I mean, some coordinators, they wouldn't even answer the phone. So we got to realize that this is about who we can get.
Yep, I'll give you the positive spin. And this is a kind of a combination of two. Number one, I believe Ben McAdoo is a better coach than Matt Rule. I'll tell you that hands down. Right. Yeah. And we can make an argument that he was given a shitty situation and just was not able to do much in New York. He wasn't built to be in New York as a head coach anyway. No. And so he's had success. And if you look at his track record of the people that he liked and the people he didn't like as quarterbacks, he is a fantastic judge of quarterbacks. A fantastic judge. He liked Lamar Jackson. He liked Josh Allen. He loved Mahomes. He did not like Darnold. He did not like. I mean, when you look at that list, he didn't want the people like when it came to who they drafted. The people that they drafted were like not who he wanted, and so he was already given just complete shit show up there with the general manager not listening to his input to who he thinks should be quarterback or anything like that. So there is positives there. Now the other part of this is if he's a bad offensive coordinator. Well, guess what? We're just one step closer to Matt Rule being fired, right?
Yes.
If he is a good offensive coordinator, well, maybe we have an opportunity to be a good fucking team, and I think that will be something that's a welcome change for all of us. So that's my spin on this. We can be positive about it, but also even with the negative, we can still look at it as a positive.
And listen, I think that's a good point too. You mentioned like that talent evaluation thing, and to kind of build on what you mentioned. Ben McAdoo took a lot of heat a few years ago because you have to remember in that draft with Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, at that time, the narrative around Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson is that they weren't ready to be NFL quarterbacks. they were inaccurate,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't draft them with the top 10 pick. And then he went on to say that he didn't like Sam Darnold's throwing mechanics, and everybody wanted to clown this dude after he initially made that assessment. And it's looking kind of good now. If you feel if you pick up what I'm putting down, we're all kind of saying the same things about Sam Darnold. So yeah, maybe there is a little bit of hope here that maybe he might be able to bring a new set of eyes to evaluating this roster that we have all felt like has been mismanaged this entire year.
Yeah, and you never know. I believe that we're going to sign. We're going to sign another quarterback. I believe Sam's going to be on the roster, but I don't think that Sam's been guaranteed the starting job next year.
No, I think they said that.
I'll be honest with you. The fact that they hired McAdoo tells me that Sam is not likely to be on the roster now, or at least not likely to be given an opportunity. Right, because what this tells me is that Matt Rule and McAdoo probably are on the same page when it comes to the opinion about Sam Darnold now. Like, why else would he accept this job if he didn't agree that Matt Rule at this point in time? I think that there is maybe a consensus there. So I'll be interested to see what happens this offseason. I was gung. I 100% thought it was Sam Darnold's show at this point. And then this hire make me kind of second guess that decision.
Yeah.
But let me ask this to all of you. Do you think this hiring changes something? Like, now that you know that Ben McAdoo has been on record saying that he wasn't necessarily a fan of Sam Darnold, do you think that changes something from then to now?
No, I think it was kind of open competition starting next year with the quarterback.
Right.
But
I say no.
Yeah, but
I say no just because, like, let's be real. This dude didn't really have a job. He was desperate. He interviewed 2 years in a row. Like, this was plan F, just like Sam Darnold was plan F, because we can't execute any plan.
No, excuse me. He did. He was the Packers quarterback coach.
Yeah.
Because
now this past year he was a consultant.
Cowboys. Yeah,
Dallas Cowboys.
He didn't have no job, man.
Yeah, he didn't really have a job of note. But last year he was Jacksonville's quarterback coach. And clearly they didn't have that was a tankathon experience.
Like this,
I think a couple of things we can take away from Ben McAdoo is, one, we can continue to get caught up in how he finished in New York. Right. And that's going to be a real stain. But I mean, he wasn't a good head coach. Right. And there was a lot of problems there, and they've continued to have problems. But when he was an offensive coordinator with the New York Giants, I mean, his last season before he was promoted to head coach is they went 11-5. They finished second in the division. Dallas went 13-3 that year. But, man, he did that with an aging Eli Manning, right? And is that
Odell?
Yeah. I mean, so the offense went from, I mean, if you look at just like the Wikipedia page, it says like the offense went from, before he took over as offensive coordinator the year before, they were 28th in passing, and they jumped from 16th to a top 10 the following year. He does not have a big track record of running the ball, right? He had a very pass-heavy offense, it looks like, with the Giants. But, I mean, you also had a squad, I think, that was oriented towards that at the time. Yep. So, I mean, you could take that positive stance from it, or you could say, look, is that, man, yeah, it's easy to be good when you've got good players like he was with Green Bay. But I don't know if, like, because I think he was a quarterback's coach there, a tight ends coach.
He was quarterback.
My last point, though, and I'll turn the mic over to you guys, two last points, is he's probably good at coaching with no offensive line, because he coached for the Giants, right? So that's a plus, is because we don't have one. So get ready for that. He's got experience on that. And then, like you guys have said, is that I think this really just tells us a lot about the job. Look, Pip Hamilton declined an interview. And so you're not going to, who are you really courting? You're not courting a guy. This is like rules of dead man walking, unless something special happens this season, man. They got to go win the playoffs. they got to generate some get into the playoffs. They got to generate some excitement if Matt Rule wants to find a way to squeak into a 4th season as head coach.
Yep.
So who really is going to come take a job here, knowing that it is like, I mean, you're not going to court big time names. You're going to court guys exactly like a Ben McAdoo. And so maybe that's like we kind of knew it was going to be like this to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Because if it goes bad here, like it could be your end of your NFL career as an offensive coordinator ever. That's why.
He was already. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't being courted. Like
he was dumb, bro.
Like, he wasn't like a sought after guy, you know. And that's the thing. And you got to think. And I'd mentioned this on the show on Tuesday. Like the problem with Carolina as a destination is all of the people that are possible offensive coordinator positions are going to be waiting to get the positions that are about to open up when the other people get hired, you know? Yeah. So I think that there's going to be a value to it, you know, with that. You know, so I don't think we're going to be able to find these guys. I don't think that being able to get a high-end talent is going to be happening with this. Just unfortunate.
I agree. Hey, real quick, let me add someone to the show. You know him from the 704 Charlotte Bound show. Twan, are you there, man?
Oh, what's going on, man? How y'all doing today?
What's up, brother? Happy you can finally join us on the free for all, bro. How you
Absolutely. I'm felt honored to be here amongst these great Panthers minds.
Appreciate you, man. Mm-hmm. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, talk to me about Ben McAdoo, man. What you thinking? What you feeling about this new offensive coordinator, man?
I look at Bob McAdoo like Cam Newton. They needed jobs. Nobody else was messing with either one of them.
Right.
and I love Cam Newton, but if you don't have a job and you want a job in the NFL and you feel like you still got it, you're gonna go wherever they hire you. The thing with the Carolina Panthers, I said this so many times. I feel like this team is a rehabilitation team. Like so. Yeah. I think a lot of guys come here to get better, then they go somewhere else, or we do the dumb thing of letting people go, or Matt Rule came and got rid of all our veterans. And, you know, this is just a stop, a place where you get better or get your money before you move on somewhere. And we got to stop the bleeding with that first. And, you know, Bob McAdoo needed a job, you know, and nobody else was courting him. And Carolina called him. He probably did a couple cartwheels, and in his head, he's like, "I'm back." And this, you know, for people who are out there going, Bob McAdoo, this is probably the best the Panthers could have done. It was the best they could do, and the funny part is that he's probably a better coach than Matt Rule.
Yep.
I think he has a higher win percentage as a head coach.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, he definitely does, man. In his career as a head coach, he's 13-16. Mm-hmm. And again, I feel like there are certain men who are better coordinators than they are coaches. Yeah. And I'm willing to say that might be true for Ben McAdoo. But here's what really fucks me up, though, man. And listen, I don't want to, harp on Joe Brady for too long. That's past, right? But if you look at the playoffs right now, and you look at the Bengals, and you look at the Bills, and you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they're all able to affect every level of the football field, throwing the football. They have a modern NFL offense. When I look at Ben McAdoo and what Ben McAdoo has done, it isn't much difference, in my opinion, unless y'all disagree. It's not that much different than what the Panthers have always been traditionally, man. Short passes, dink and dunk, zone run. Like, to me, how is this any different than what the Panthers have been before? There's no new identity in hiring Ben McAdoo. It's just you're trying to hire someone who has experience calling plays. And that's all this is to me.
Isn't McAdoo and Matt Rule friends from the Giants days?
Yeah, I think he hired him, right?
Yeah.
So
we should have known McAdoo was going to get this because of the Coughlin. That they was ties to Coughlin. Is that, and I don't know if they've worked together necessarily, but it's one of those things. Is like, hey, how's Tom doing? Probably.
Yeah.
Why do you think that, Cody? Like, why do you think that it is a dink and dunk? Like, I have to go back and look at what the Giants offense was when he was coordinator. But if that is when Odell was popping off, hitting 2,000 yards or whatever it was, 1,400 yards, I mean, that was pretty explosive stuff. And you're talking about a guy also. I mean, at the other hand, you're not talking about a guy with a cannon of an arm and Eli Manning in the latter half of his career.
And he was washed, dude.
Yeah, when McAdoo took over as OC, McAdoo actually revitalized Eli's career for a couple years. I mean,
The passing game went from the bottom of the league to mid to top 10.
Yeah.
My thing is this. If you look at what he's done in recent years, and yeah, he didn't have the best talent to be able to work with, but it doesn't seem to me like he is the coach that is implementing the types of ideas that I feel like the modern NFL is built off of. And to be honest, like that's what Matt Rule wanted. Matt Rule has said time and time again that he wants to be a run-first football team and wants to establish the run. But it's like the run is established, man. Everyone knows you want to run the football. The whole concept is kind of dumb to me. But I don't know, man. I think that you hit the nail on the head, Tony. A lot of people kind of feel like this is the best that the Panthers were going to do. I mean, if we were going to hire someone with experience calling plays, our options were between McAdoo and Jay Gruden.
Hey, listen, Cody.
We went with McAdoo.
Cody, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, sure can.
Did y'all see this story? Somebody sent it. Who sent this to us on Twitter? And maybe you guys probably can't read it really well here. I love the title. It says it's from Untimed Down Sports. Panthers hire noted sex symbol Ben McAdoo as their new offensive coordinator. And then they have this picture of him up here with his he looks like a kid that is wearing like his older brother's suit or his dad's suit to a wedding or something.
Little
but it said, it said this is that now they went and pulled all the bad stats, right? They tried to put the stats in a negative light. It said 2016 ranked 26 in scoring offense ahead of juggernauts like the Bears, Jets, and Browns. 2016 ranked 29th in rushing. See, he doesn't run the ball a lot, beating out dependable runners like Theo Riddick of the Lions and Jerick McKinnon of the Vikings. 17th rank in passing, outthrowing big arms like Ryan Tannehill and Brock Osweiler. 2017 ranked 31st in scoring offense, blowing the Browns out of the water. Ranked in 2017 to 26 rushing, a huge improvement from 2016, and outrushing big hitters like Kerwin Williams of the Cardinals and Samaje Perine of the Washington football team. And then he put this, the last stat was in 2017 ranked 19th in passing. An extremely slight drop from 2016 can easily be explained by improved rushing attack and becoming more balanced offense. Even with all of that stellar offense had more passing yards than Joe Flacco's Ravens and Jacoby Brissett's Colts.
Yeah, it's like the numbers aren't too good, man. I also have this from Warren Sharp on Twitter. Reminder as to how the Giants offense ranked under Ben McAdoo's guidance. They were 32nd in first downs, 29th in success rate, 30th in points scored, 29th in time of possession, 31st in red zone trips, 29th in total yards, 31st in third down percentage, and 29th in first half points. Dude, those are not good numbers, man.
Sounds like Matt Rule.
That I believe those stats are when he was a head coach, not an offensive coordinator. When he was head coach, if I remember correctly, I read today though. I don't, like I said, just a comment. Then, but I don't think that he was allowed. I don't think that. I think the general manager Reese told the OC to call plays and not McAdoo, because McAdoo was going to call his own plays. And
I want to make a couple of caveats to this.
Yeah.
First and foremost, we've already talked about how bad the Giants' talent situation is, right? He inherited an offense that was at the back end of Eli's career, and then had a guy that was drafted that he didn't even ask. Like, he wanted somebody else as opposed to him, right? They were wanting different people, by the time that this came about. And then we also know the GM that they had that he had to deal with for the majority of his time in the Giants was none other than Dave Gettleman, right? And so when you're talking about that, is Dave Gettleman listening to his coach before he makes a choice? I don't think any of us believe that Dave Gettleman is conferring with Ben McAdoo on whether he should draft a guy or not. And we all know Dave Gettleman's track record as a guy in the NFL drafting people, right? And so I think Ben McAdoo did again get a slight. Am I prepared to say that he is going to be a good offensive coordinator? No, but I can see there being value in what he's able to do and what he's able to accomplish, because he was the offensive coordinator in Green Bay, and he was able to do some things with those guys. Again, it's a lot easier when you have an Aaron Rodgers at the helm. So let's be real about it. But
yeah,
we're going to find out. I mean, at this point in time, I'm excited to see what he decides to do with quarterbacks, because it does sound like this guy is he's going to be able to find the guy. Now, whether or not he's going to be able to scheme up an offense that's going to make that guy actually look like a good quarterback, that's something we're going to be finding.
You think maybe they,
let's be honest. How could we even be excited about anybody? You know what I mean? At the end of the
Exactly.
day, like, is the whole, not only is the position unattractive, but the whole the team is unattractive. So I mean, it don't matter if you get whoever you get. At the same time, we still then would just go to, oh well, guess what? They're going to get fired after a year because they don't got a quarterback and offensive line.
Yeah,
that's why that's why a lot of them wouldn't even come to talk or wouldn't even show up on a Zoom. I mean, you had Sam Darnold who is starting to get the nickname the offensive coordinator killer, the coach killer. You've got a lame duck head coach. You've got an entire, you've got a rebuilding team, and for a great part of the time, they wouldn't even own up that it was a rebuild. If you're I'm stuck on his name. If you're that guy in Texans that wouldn't even come up here, that's from Charlotte. Yeah. If you're him, why would you come here? Why would you come here? Just to get fired a year later?
He would have came here if Brian Flores got hired here. I know that.
No. Well, yeah, but Tepper's not going to fire. Tepper's not interested in hiring a defensive guy. When he came here, he said he wasn't going to hire a defensive head coach.
Well, he hired a head coach that don't do anything. He don't do nothing.
Well, I agree to that, but I agree to that. True. I'm just saying.
But can I say this too, Tony? And I'll give credit to Tony. Tony's really been on this thing that the Panthers are going to draft Kenny Pickett, or we're going to take a quarterback. And I think that this particular signing of Ben McAdoo kind of lends to that argument, because if you look at the quarterbacks that Ben McAdoo has liked in the past, he was right about Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Apparently, he had a favorable evaluation of Patrick Mahomes. Like, maybe Matt Rule is going to be thinking, well, if my ass is on the line this year, I better get a good set of eyes to help me evaluate this quarterback position.
So you go get Pat McAdoo?
Yeah, I mean, like, what? I mean, what?
I like
what
how
else
you've
was
called him a
together?
different name every time.
Pat McAdoo.
McAdoo.
I just really hope we don't. I just really hope we don't do any more quarterback nonsense. Like, we have an opportunity. Nobody wants to hear this. We have an opportunity next year to just suck. There's like 4 or 5 quarterbacks coming out. We can get as much draft capital as possible. Fire Matt Rule and get this thing jumping.
Do you think
that has to be the goal?
Do you think David Tepper
I'm right
forced
there
him
with you.
to hire an OC that had head coaching experience?
Yeah.
No.
So I want to talk about Tepper for just a second.
Sure.
Well, for those that know me, I caught an incredible amount of flack when Matt Rule got here. I didn't want him from day one. When he got off the plane and went on the podium and spoke, he just gave off this real preacher's vibe. I called him Rev Rule on the first day.
Yeah.
And I didn't know he was going to be this bad. You know what I'm saying? But I was catching flack for that situation. They was just like, oh, no, he's going to be this. He's built. And I kept saying, that's college. NFL is a totally different beast. The thing with Tepper is that he said all these great things about him. He reminds me of myself, whatever. But the thing is, even in all these discussions that we're having, why it seems redundant because it's just like, what's the common denominator in all of this? Matt Rule is the problem.
Yeah.
So why don't you? So I don't understand continuing on with him. Take Matt Rule out of it, then you'll see more players may want to come here. You may see coaches wanting to. Then the coaches that are declining us may want to come here. The common denominator is Matt Rule. People don't want to play under him. They don't want to play with him. They don't want to coach next to him. And if you know anything about Matt Rule, he goes in front of the camera. He's known for throwing people under the bus, but he never throws himself under the bus. He never says, "I got to be better," and blah blah. You know, so that's how it works with him. And when people see this, they're like, "Man, I don't want to coach with that guy."
Yeah,
or when he shows no leadership. Yeah,
Well,
or when he does step in front of the camera and says that I messed up.
He's not a leader.
Ever blame Sam, bro? That gets on my nerves. He never blames Sam.
Well, he never named three people. He never blamed himself. He never blamed Sam because he handpicked him, and he didn't ever blame Joe Brady before he got fired because he handpicked him. I guarantee you, Tepper came to him with the whole Joe Brady situation. Matt Rule would have never fired him on his own.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, let me welcome Brad to the show. Faithful of the Friday Free for All. Brad, what's going on, bro?
Oh, I'm exhausted from Disneyland and the Ben McAdoo news that just did not sit well.
Hey, which is more exhausting, Disneyland or finding out Ben McAdoo is your new OC?
Well, I mean,
gotta be Disneyland.
To be fair, McAdoo has a history of not being a terrible OC, right? I mean, he's just a terrible head coach. Now that being said, I think it was Bone on Mac and Bone Radio tweeted out earlier this week that if Ben McAdoo is the OC and Sam Darnold is the quarterback, he's going to straight up retire from broadcasting. And I don't think that Sam Darnold's going to be our quarterback. I really don't. I'm still on the. I think we're going to see a trade for Kirk Cousins. I do. I really think that's going to happen.
Don't say that shit, bro.
That will be crazy.
I'm telling you right now, I do not believe that there.
And no, I don't like that.
Unless there is an actual elite level quarterback out there, because I think we can say Kirk Cousins is an average kind of has shown ability to do some things, but for the most part he crumbles under pressure, right?
Yeah.
Unless you have an opportunity to get an Aaron Rodgers, a Deshaun Watson, or a Russell Wilson type, there is not going to be a trade for any quarterback this offseason.
I don't know.
They traded for Sam, bro, so anything's possible.
I strongly disagree. There is no way. There is no way if Matt Rule is on the hot seat and he knows he's on the hot seat that he's going to let his fate rest in the hands of Sam Darnold. It's not happening.
You think David Tepper is going to let us do another trade that sends away more resources when we've already basically, again, what we'd be doing is selling low and buying high constantly.
David Tepper will do that. Yes, he will do that.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second.
I think Tepper would do that.
He's done it twice, and I think at this point if he does it a third time, he looks like an absolute idiot.
Well, he thinks this is finance. He thinks this is the stock market. He's gonna keep trying to flip it until he, gets 21.
Yeah. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place right here because that might be true. The Panthers do not have enough assets to go and get Deshaun or to go and get Kirk Cousins and to be able to field a competitive football team without those picks. On the other hand, the adverse is true as well. You cannot start the 2022 season with Sam Darnold as your quarterback, man. The entire Panthers fan base is going to give up on the entire season before it starts if that's who you start the season with. I don't think there is a chance that Sam is the starter for us next year.
I think what you're going to see.
Kenny Pickett alert.
That might be the case too. You might see Kenny Pickett, but I think what you're going to end up seeing, they don't want to draft a quarterback. They don't want to develop a quarterback. They want to go for a known quantity. And whether we want to believe it or not, Kirk Cousins is at least an average to above average quarterback who shrinks in big situations, right?
Hey, Cody.
So, I do think that what we're probably going to see is this year's 6th round pick, the 2023 first round pick, and Sam Darnold for Kirk Cousins.
I don't believe that.
No way,
No,
first round
no
pick.
I don't like
No way, first round pick.
Hey, I mean, as long as we don't play on Monday night, we'll be okay with Kirk Cousins.
Hey, McAdoo was the
True,
quarterback
man. He
coach.
shrinks in prime
I
time.
don't,
Prime
I don't
time,
have a problem. I don't have a problem. What scares me about Kirk Cousins is the money.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Because as a Panthers fan, and I try to tell them all the time, Panthers fans right now are in this sedity stage. It's like, man, we can't afford to be like telling people who we don't want, and it's like we don't. It's like we don't have a right at this point right now. And now we got this first pick. Cody just mentioned, like, so what do we? We pick Thursday night, and then we pick again on Saturday afternoon, late sometime or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. We don't pick again until
Picking the
round
last
4.
day.
So like Friday, we could just take the day off, and you know what I'm saying.
Pretty
So,
much.
but you have to ask yourself the question. So how did we get into that situation? And you have to go back and figure out. Okay, so if you tell people around the world that the reason why we're in that situation is because we obtained Sam Darnold. It was part of that, you know, and it's just like the story just continues to get more and more and more tragic. And the thing is, with David Tepper as an owner, I mean, it's just like he wasn't like this big owner when he was in Pittsburgh. He owned a stake in the team. He wasn't sitting at round tables making decisions and things like that. So we got all these neophytes on our, like, Tepper's new, the coaches new, the coordinators new.
Yeah,
got rid of all the older players. The players are new. It's bad. And the very fact that Tepper knows all this stuff is horrible, and he was willing to start the next year with that same recipe, it's just like, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it.
So the other thing,
of course.
One thing I do want to comment on here is that there's a bunch of comments coming in that Kirk Cousins' cap hit's too high. If we trade Sam Darnold and we make it part of that package, then it's only an additional $25 million on top of what we're already paying for Sam Darnold. So I mean, it's high, but it's negligible.
But what assets would he demand? In my opinion, like, right, we don't have a second round pick. They don't need a quarterback. I mean, let me say, they don't need a running back. They don't need a wide receiver like DJ Moore. The only thing I could see them seen valuable from the Panthers is Brian Burns. And are we prepared?
Or first round picks, man.
But we are not giving away.
If we give away next year's first round pick, we are the dump. That's going to be potentially a top 3 pick. Seriously.
But we were willing to do the same thing. We were willing to do the exact same thing to go get Matt Stafford. And is Matt Stafford honestly any better than Kirk Cousins?
Hands down better.
Wait, hold on. I'll say this. I do think Stafford might be a better quarterback.
Yeah, he's better.
Since they're the same style of quarterback, I understand that argument. Because if it was Matthew Stafford or Kirk Cousins, they would die behind this offensive line.
I don't think the Vikings are trading Kirk Cousins. And I say that to say this.
No, they are
trade
for sure.
Cousins, well, if they trade Kirk Cousins, who's your quarterback?
Kalen Mond.
Whoever they draft with our pick.
They drafted him, but they didn't play him at all last year when he had opportunity to play.
But I think that was all the head coach there, because if you heard if you heard any of the conferences with the head coach or the press conferences, they asked him, "Oh, will we see Kalen Mond this week because Cousins had COVID or whatever?" And the guy flat out said, "Why would we see him whenever I see him every day?" Like that is straight up. I don't like the guy, so I'm not going to play him.
Wow.
It's not. He sucks.
Well, they also don't have. They're going to have a new head coach too.
We can't trade for Kirk Cousins just because, like, it's just like a hamster wheel. It's just the same thing over and over.
Exactly.
That's the thing. If you look at the Vegas odds,
I believe we may trade for a quarterback, but we're not going to these high elite quarterbacks, folks. Gardner Minshew has a history with Ben McAdoo.
I was just
He's a
about to say
backup.
that.
Yeah. There's a few other. There's a young quarterback behind Lamar Jackson that looked real good when he had a chance to play last year. Okay. I know people don't want to hear this, but you still got Jimmy Garoppolo out there.
Tyler Huntley.
I was going to say McAdoo.
If I'm just being real, and y'all can come at me for this opinion or not. When you say Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo, even Tony's boy Minshew, like, bro, if I'm just being real, you might as well be talking about the same fucking dude, bro.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, it's like the same.
Minshew's more mobile.
It's an unathletic. It's an unathletic white dude who is very dependent upon the team around him being a damn good team, and coaches that know how to optimize them and put them in the best scenario possible. I don't see any of that here in Carolina. Either the type of offensive line that protects them or the type of coaches that can scheme wide receivers open. I just don't see that here.
But the thing is, like what Kevin said. Kevin just said it right there. Minshew is going to be cheaper than all of them.
Yeah.
I'm not against going for Minshew. Okay?
Well, I think
anything else that's going to cost some serious capital, including a first-round pick, I'm not for it.
I'm telling you who will be cheaper than all of them. The person that will be cheaper than all of them, and I'm real heavy on drafting offensive line. Carolina Panthers have been anemic to that, but because of our circumstances, I think we have to go get Kenny Pickett.
No. Dude, the gloves scare me, bro.
Dude, I don't mind drafting a quarterback, but I don't want Kenny Pickett.
All right, so let's hear about the
guy broke the record. Dan Marino's record at Pitt. You know,
so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I watched some film on Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett is good, man.
He's good, but I'm gonna be real with you. I think Carson Strong is probably the best quarterback in this class. I mean, he's got the mechanics down. He's got the arms talent. He's got the foot. He's got the pocket presence. I mean, he's got all the fundamentals that you could ever potentially want.
But how many times do we see really good quarterbacks go to the NFL and die? At least Kenny Pickett, if he comes to the Panthers, he does have weapons. He's just got a dumb coaching staff.
Well, and he won't have an offensive line either.
I haven't looked at all. So, okay, this year's quarterback class is kind of low-key deep. I mean, there aren't the super names like there were last year with Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, but there are some good quarterbacks. I haven't done my full evaluation on all the quarterbacks yet. But no, I mean, listen, I do like hearing differences of opinion, man. Like, Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral. And, I've even seen a lot of people saying maybe we should trade back and pick up Malik Willis out of Liberty. And I wouldn't be opposed to that either, man, just because of the type of athletic ability that the dude has. Like I said, I'm not co-signing anyone there. I have yet to do my full evaluation of all the quarterbacks. But, I mean, my thing is this, though. If you draft a quarterback round 1, Twan, then you don't have a ton of draft picks to fix the offensive line. Are you just going to put a young quarterback out to die behind this Panthers?
I think they're going to try and fix the offensive line in free agency, honestly, because you can get you've got Nate Solder will probably be on the market. I think Orlando Brown will be on the market. I mean, there's going to be a lot of big name left tackles, and if we ride with Christensen and Deontay Brown as guards, I mean, really the only thing we have left to get is the left tackle and the center. I mean.
Does Pickett have a quick release like Tua?
Dude, the dude wears gloves, bro. He wears gloves. That's all he wears. His hands are small and he wears gloves. Come on now.
I love how Pickett. Everybody's making fun of him because of the baby hands already.
But he does well with those gloves on. I mean, is that what?
For me, it's just flashbacks, bro. That's all.
Is that what we're talking about in terms of not picking a quarterback up?
Tom Brady has one glove.
Hey, but you remember when Joe Burrow was coming out, people were making fun of him for his tiny hands too.
Exactly.
So
yeah, but you got to remember this is the same coaching staff that was going to put Rashawn Slater at left guard because his arms were too short.
Yeah, true.
And so they're going to look at his. If everything remains the same. They're going to look at his hands. They're going to be like, nope, too small hands. And I'm okay with that. I don't want Kenny Pickett.
I bring the subject up a lot. Nobody wants to discuss it. And then sometimes everyone wants to discuss it. You know, man. Hey, look, I think one of the first moves that we have to make it. I know you already throw tomatoes at me. Throw it at me. I'm dead serious when I say this. With all the problems we have, hey, look, man, it's time to see if someone will take Christian McCaffrey, bro. I'm so tired of seeing this guy on the sideline.
I'm not throwing no tomatoes at you, bro.
I think the bigger question would be DJ.
What is he doing for us? He's on the sideline with the coach.
Your problem with
third rounder.
The problem with trading the Christian McCaffrey is the cap hit, right? If we trade him this offseason or this season, he's going to count $14 million against our salary cap. If you trade him, he counts $26 million. So that $12 million is basically the cost of a starting left guard or right guard if you're going to go out and free agent.
I really wish they would change that rule in the NFL so that there's a trade made that other team assumes all their debt and takes on everything.
But what would you get in the trade? You're getting
You
the
could
third
get a lot
rounder
for him because somebody
did that.
No, you're not getting a third rounder.
You don't have to get a pick if you trade McCaffrey. You could trade him for a player.
You won't get a good player.
What about
you're not getting?
I'm right with that. If I tell you what, if it was me, and the Eagles would do it, they'd give me their backup left tackle.
Eagles, yeah.
Yeah, they'd give me their backup left tackle and throw Minshew in there. They can have McCaffrey all day.
What if we trade with the Eagles? What if we trade back like the 16th and their 19th pick? They have the 16th and 19th. Now we have 2 picks in the first round.
I'll be willing to do that.
Oh, and by the way, I didn't mention this at the start of the show. Later today, in just a little while here, we're going to do a mock draft live on the show. And we're all going to be the Panthers war room, and we're going to be fielding offers to trade back. Seeing what the Panthers' options might be able to do. So stick around for that too, man.
Cody, I got a question about that.
Yeah.
I've seen everybody's, basically everybody's mock draft. That Eagles trade comes up like every other draft. Do you think that's going to be realistic? I really don't.
Well, it depends though. So right now, Panther Nation really needs to get accustomed to the top 7 players in the draft, right? Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau. I just released our first film room session yesterday of Nkem Iwonu, or I'm probably saying that name wrong, but that dude's a beast. But we really need to start to familiarize ourselves with those names because those are going to be the players that teams are going to trade up for. So the name that everyone's been mentioning and talking about is Kyle Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame. Maybe if he drops to pick 6, maybe there are some teams that are willing to trade up to draft him. And, at that point in time, the Panthers are missing so many picks. Yeah, you would almost be silly to not entertain that, move back a few spots and pick up some more players.
There's a team out there, and I'm not going to say a team. I'm willing to bet there's 3 teams out there that will insanely give up, do some very stupid betting with us for Christian McCaffrey. They will overpay us for him. It's at least 3 teams out there that will overpay. Initially, I was thinking the Patriots, but Belichick doesn't pay anyone. But if you convince one of these contending teams that they're that type of running back away, even if they want to add him with somebody else. And the other thing we can sell Christian McCaffrey on is he's not just a running back. He plays in the slot as well. Some team is going to overpay for him.
Like Kansas City or the Rams.
Or the 49ers.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but again, you're glossing over the fact that it's going to cost basically a starting left guard or right guard to trade him. That's how much you're going to give up as far as.
And I hear your point, but how much are we paying Christian McCaffrey yearly?
$14 million.
$14 million this year. We're okay, right?
So we're paying him that money, and he's not doing anything for us.
So do you want to pay him $26 million to pay for another team?
Before we go forward, let me add my man Dave from Panther Nation Podcast to the conversation.
Yeah, what up, Dave?
Hey, Dave.
I want to hear Dave's input on this Christian McCaffrey thing. Okay.
This guy, he got to go.
What's it? What input? What are y'all talking about?
They're talking about
man,
trading
you know what we
Christian
want,
McCaffrey
Dave.
this
Don't
year,
play
dude.
like that. What you think about McAdoo, man? Come on. Bring the fire, bro. Bring the fire, bro. Come on.
I told y'all this is what it was going to be. I told y'all on Monday what it was going to be. I told y'all what it was going to be. I told y'all. We went through, like Rashad had his slide package popping, went through all the coaches,
so what
all the collard greens, all the dog mom. And I
what
told
do you think about him?
I think he can call plays. I think instead of being like bottom 5 in the league, we'll probably be bottom 15 in the league offensively. I think the offensive efficiency should improve. I think the fact that he likes no huddle gives some small glimmer of hope that we might re-sign Cam.
Yeah, we were definitely a lot better with. But that's the thing. Even with Sam, we were a lot better last year with the no huddle. That is one thing that I picked up.
Yep.
Looking at everything.
So you're saying you don't have to. When you don't have
By
to
the
make
way,
a decision.
StreamYard will only let me put 10 people in at a time. We got 11 right now, so I'm filtering people out and in. I got Jay Stubbs in the back. I'll bring you back in here in just a minute, Jay Stubbs. Oh, I can bring Jay Stubbs in now. How many I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can add one more. I'll bring Tony back in.
Let me say something real quick in regards to Matt Rule.
Yeah.
No matter what, look, man, when we're done talking, no matter what we do or what the team decides to do or whatever, all the talking that we do, Matt Rule is still going to be there. And if the problem is still there, then it's just like we're coming up with concepts. I think Tepper, if he wants to be taken seriously, you gotta fire this guy before the season starts, man. Because if we couldn't win with that soft schedule that was a soft pretzel that we played this year. If we couldn't win with that schedule, next year gets brutal.
Yeah,
his year 3. That's the season that he's gonna come up in.
I believe if they're going to fire Matt Rule, they'd have already done it.
Yeah, no,
that's
I
my
agree
thing.
with that 100%.
We're all complaining about it.
We still got time though, man. I'm hoping.
Yeah. And if you're David Tepper and your secret plan is to fire Matt Rule next year, why would you allow them to trade anything away? Well, why would you allow them to trade anything away to get a quarterback or even draft a quarterback that the next head coach coming up ain't gonna like?
He's right. He's right. Don't let Matt Rule do anything. Don't let him make any picks. Don't let him do anything except head coach.
But that's the issue, man, is that David Tepper gave Matt Rule so much power over this organization. I'm
going to say this last thing because I know you want to get other people in here, Cody, and not my thing is Scott Fitterer, right? So how does he play into this? Because I'm telling Tepper, if I'm Scott Fitterer, I don't want Matt Rule on my resume. And he's not my guy.
Well, and so there's a couple things. So first and foremost, like you gotta be aware of the fact that the longer that they stay married, the more likely it is that Fitterer gets purged with rules. Right? I mean, that's just a given. The other thing I want to list, I want to list the things that David Tepper honestly cares about. Okay, he probably cares about his wife. He cares about the Charlotte Football Club. He cares about concerts. He cares about his venue. He cares about getting a new stadium. He doesn't give a fuck about the actual Carolina Panthers.
Sounds like Jim Dolan to me.
He literally put the reason why he hired Matt Rule and gave him the power he did is so that he doesn't have to deal with this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's just the reality. So
listen, my nickname for Mr. Tepper, and I have coined this. David Tepper is Mr. Day Late Dollar Short, because for all of his billions, David Tepper waits too late to make every damn important decision about the Carolina Panthers, man. And then he does things the opposite order too. You should have went out and got your general manager before you hired.
Right.
That's what you should have done, but you didn't do it. And now you have Scott Fitterer in the situation where David Tepper has already given the final authority to Matt Rule on all football decisions.
Now, how much sense does that make?
Fitterer is like only a GM in name alone. Like he's like, I feel like, especially when you look at how many Temple and Baylor players are continuously being brought here in free agency. Like, come on, there's no way that's a Scott Fitterer decision.
Well, yeah. So, and that's the other thing so all Scott Fitterer does is Rule goes, I want CJ Henderson. Make it happen. And Fitterer goes and makes it happen. That's what he does. That's literally it. He is not. I'm telling you right now, if Matt Rule's going to get year 3. He's getting year 3, right? And I don't think that Fitterer survives the purge when it goes south. I don't. Right. I think he gets canned too.
Yeah, that's all the more reason why I said. That's all the more reason why I said like he. Go ahead.
Yeah, like it's getting to the point that the longer that Rule stays, the higher the odds that Fitterer is going with him when he gets fired, bro.
Exactly.
Like,
so and what's his name, Dave? That's what I'm saying, bro. If I'm Fitterer, I'm like, bro, look. If I'm gonna go, let me go with my picks. I didn't want Matt Rule. You put us together. I didn't pick this guy. Same thing that Matt Rule said with Cam Newton.
But it's the same thing too, bro. Think about it like this too. You got to remember what organization Scott Fitterer came from. He came from an organization where you didn't get to pick your guy. He came from like Seattle came from an organization where that Pete Carroll was paired with the GM. Like the GM didn't get to pick Pete Carroll. It was a package type of deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
yeah, they're
so
trying
when you
really
take
hard
that
to
into
emulate.
account, then it becomes a different type of a discussion.
You're right.
Right,
So-
and that's kind of the thing. Is that's the only reason they hired Fitterer was because they want to do the exact same thing. Seattle's been the definition of stability and success in the NFL. Right, no team, I think, other than the Patriots, has more playoff wins over the last 10 years than the Seattle Seahawks. Right, so they wanted to do what Seattle did, which is they had a college coach who makes all the personnel decisions and gets all the say and basically runs the entire show top to bottom. And a GM just facilitates what he requests and requires. That's it.
Right. Okay.
So they're just trying to emulate the exact same thing.
But I mean, I'm telling you what, though, man. Like I think as we continue to go on, the question of quarterback is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're really stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Either you have to draft a quarterback this year, and the quarterback class isn't as strong as years in the past.
Kenny Pickett.
Or you're forcing yourself to go out and give up picks and players to go and get either Kirk Cousins or Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson.
but
Now,
Minshew.
We are forgetting one thing though. I mean, and I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen.
Right. Look, I'm not cutting you off. But who keeps yelling Minshew?
Minshew.
yeah, Tony and my man Kevin. Bro, that's their favorite quarterback. Yo,
He's cheap. Who was Ben McAdoo?
I'm gonna be real with you. He's not going to be cheap. He's not, because at this point he's proved. I think he's going to require the people who are going to be trading for him are going to be giving up a second or a third round pick.
I don't think he's not going to be cheap, but then you're talking about trading for Kirk Cousins. Come on now.
All I'm saying is that you can't use the excuse that he's going to be cheap by saying that you have to give up picks that we don't have.
I agree with that. I think it's going to be a trade. You might get him for like a fourth. But here's the thing: is nobody here, or at least I don't believe that Minshew is the solution or the answer. I just think that Minshew is a better player than Sam Darnold. I think he is a guy that gives you a chance to win, a dude that plays with his chip on his shoulder, a guy that, he's got a lot of flair and style, and that's what I like about him, right? I'm pulling for the underdog. He is one sexy looking.
The mustache thing. Okay.
White Cam, bro. He's like White Cam. He got style.
No, he's not.
That guy's terrible.
So much, bro. But he knows it.
Ben McAdoo knows him the best.
He says that shit,
Ben
bro.
McAdoo knows him the best.
Ben McAdoo knows him. Ben McAdoo's had him.
But didn't Joe Brady know Teddy Bridgewater too? Like that didn't
exactly. So they're going to bring
well, Joe Brady sat in the same room as Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah,
and,
that's about it.
They
Ben
cross-dressed
McAdoo
together.
was Gardner Minshew's quarterback coach. But here, look, we clearly can see that Ben McAdoo got this job because he finished up his interview by saying, "If you hire me, I'll give you Aaron Rodgers' number."
Wow.
Oh man.
Hey,
did someone say earlier that people weren't showing up for the Zoom interviews? I would pay money to see Matt Rule sitting in front of the computer waiting for the person to show up, and they
And can I just say this? Look, I hate to
Nobody wants to deal with that guy, man.
Where you at, bro?
Man, I hate to relitigate old shit, man. But the more and more time goes on, the more and more I felt like Joe Brady got done wrong, man.
Oh, hell no.
I know everybody. Look, man,
he got done right.
Everybody wanted that dude fired. But I'm telling you, man, if Matt Rule continues to mismanage the O-line next year, this dude's going to look just as bad.
But we also want Matt Rule fired, too. It's not like we just were like, oh, Joe Brady, fire him. We wanted everybody fired.
Yeah, we pretty much wanted the whole coaching staff fired.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing. To that point is the argument of is Joe Brady bad because of Matt Rule isn't justification for us keeping Joe Brady, right? Joe Brady showed nothing whatsoever that indicated he was a high quality offensive coordinator in the NFL. Correct. Being able to use somebody else's deficiencies as a reason why you should keep an offensive coordinator, I just don't think that's worth it.
But let's keep it a buck, guys. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck here. Let's keep it a buck. When you consider what the speculation was about getting a rockstar OC, I mean, my man fit the bill when it came to being a rock star OC, didn't he? Like when you sit down and think about it, he fit the bill.
I don't think so.
He fit the bill of being a rock star OC.
Wait, Dave, do you mean hold on, Dave? Do you mean Brady or McAdoo?
No, Brady, right? Because it was like, well, when you get so like Brady is the guy. That's the type of guy. Now, regardless how you feel about he did when he was in Carolina, but that's the type of guy that Rule needed to go freaking higher, and the only people he had to choose from was Ben McAdoo and Jay Gruden. Like those are the choices.
No.
Like that was the list.
That guy wasn't he wasn't an OC at LSU. He was a pass coordinator.
But to piggyback off of what Dave was saying.
But the thing is, if you're trying to get somebody that's going to petition to be an OC, that's what you're gonna roll with.
I just think that. Hey, Dave,
let's go with Brad, then we'll go to Twan.
Okay, go ahead.
To kind of piggyback off of what Dave was saying, let's also not forget in 2020 he had 4 players on his offense with over 1,000 yards. Right. I mean, the reality is, like, was he a great offensive coordinator? I don't think anybody would suggest that. But to suggest he was complete dog shit, or that he was the root of all of our problems, or that he needed to go, is flat out false. I mean, the only reason they were complete and total dog shit this year was because of the offensive line he was given and the quarterback that was put behind it.
Yeah, I mean, Michael, that's my entire point. What did anyone expect to see of Joe Brady with the offensive line this terrible and this mismanaged, and a quarterback that couldn't even get the job done? Like, what, Joe Brady had, a week with Cam Newton? Maybe a little bit more. Like, everybody was put in a position to fail because of Matt Rule. Like, I think that Joe Brady was indicative of us trying to have a modern NFL pass-happy offense, but we just didn't give him the personnel to run that effectively. Now we're bringing in McAdoo to essentially do the same shit that Mike Shula and Norv Turner did.
I mean, if you look at Phil Snow says, hey, I need this guy, he gonna get him. If Phil Snow says, I need a corner, he gonna get him. If Phil Snow says, I need a safety, he gonna get him. If he says, I need edge rushers and man corners, how long did it take him to get it? Just like that. Well, we can't get a solid left tackle. We can't get a solid offensive line or a decent quarterback. Why? Because the offensive line, to Matt Rule's eyes, isn't up high enough.
Well, and to kind of go off that, like, we know what the game plan is, right? Matt Rule wants to win with an exceptional defense and a really strong running game. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to throw the ball 30 times a game. He doesn't want to pass more than like 20 times. I mean, that's the reality. So the offensive line is not the priority for him.
This is the year. This is the year to grab offensive linemen in the draft. This is the year to grab linemen. We have some money, get a free agent. And this is the year to build that O-line up. I mean,
at the same time, we got to get thicker on the defensive line too, though. I mean, and they've said that that's going to be a priority because they get gashed anytime a running back runs straight at Brian Burns. I mean,
and that's what makes the Sam Darnold trade so awful, because Like that second round pick this year could have been like a blue chipper, like straight up.
Yeah,
it could have been a guard. It could have been a middle linebacker.
Those second and third round picks, they matter, J Stubbs. Like you hit the nail on the head to not have them when you need so many other things. Bro, look at Creed Humphrey for the Kansas City Chiefs this year. Drafted in the second round, and that dude is a bulldozer at center for the Kansas City Chiefs, man.
We traded back twice and passed him
You
twice.
need those picks. Yeah, man, we did pass on him 2 times.
I tell people all the time, man, the way you play in college doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the way that you play in the pros. You know, I mean, let's face it, drafts. I mean, we look at flashy people, whatever. Drafts are all gambles. It's Vegas. Every draft night is Vegas. You're hoping that this guy that you pick is going to be the best. It takes real special people to see something more in a guy that no one necessarily hears or at the top of their boards and things like that. Good players in the draft, good players go to bad teams, and it's like 70% of them wind up fading out, getting hurt. Or it's the guys that really excel are those second, third round picks. You know what I'm saying? Those guys that were looked over, they wind up going to special situations, and they're able to play better. As far as and getting back to that, you know, I couldn't let that go. Getting back to that Joe Brady situation, Joe Brady's playbook was a coloring book by the numbers. That playbook was so vanilla. I mean, I think really we had an O-line, even with that playbook. Joe Brady was in over his head, man. He didn't even run plays for tight ends. He didn't like tight ends, bro.
But my thing is, how many times did we see Sam Darnold completely overthrow a wide open
Everybody
receiver,
knew what we were going to do.
or throw it into double coverage though? Like, I'm not trying to tell you that. I'm not trying to tell you that Joe Brady was a fantastic NFL coordinator. I'm just saying, if he was a fantastic NFL coordinator, we would have never known because we did not have the personnel to take advantage of.
And listen, Joe Brady was told when he got here, just like Matt Rule was told when he got here. See that running back we're paying all that money to? You build your offense around him.
And that's the
guy you build your offense around. And guess where he was the last 2 years?
On the sideline
with the feet propped up. All right, there's your mistake.
There it is.
Now, the first year they had a veteran running back nobody thought a lot about until he started making all them runs. Then he's like, hey man, this cat might be pretty good. All right, so then we start trying to get there with a veteran quarterback that we all said he was a bust and he wasn't. Then what did we do? We got rid of the quarterback. We let the running back walk away. Said, "Oh, we got McCaffrey. McCaffrey's back. He's healthy. We got young Sam Darnold. We good to go." Well, you know, McCaffrey went back home, and Sam went back to forgetting which team he's on. He just throws interceptions left and right. I mean, whenever he gets pressure, you can tell he freaks out. I personally believe he's the worst quarterback in the league right now.
But my whole thing is
he's ranked the worst.
Yeah. My whole thing is like for this year, like if I want to see growth from David Tepper, because I missed that conversation earlier. First of all, where's his press conference at? I'll wait.
Yes.
Second of all,
it.
if he keeps Sam Darnold and stay put, take the best offensive lineman in the draft and just trade back, get a couple of them, do something. And he stays put and he resets next year, I will be like, okay, he's learning. But if he goes and gets Gardner, whoever, and Kirk Cousins, and we doing the same thing, that tells me all he knows how to do is flip stuff like it's stock, and this is not stock. And if it is stock, we had an all-time low.
To kind of elaborate on that, you're not going to get the press conference from David Tepper. Right. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
right? He looks at it. The way he looks at it is he's going to go, "You're going to take this product, you're going to like it, and if you don't like it, I'll move the fucking team. Fuck you guys."
So you know what, Brad? You know what, Brad? I actually disagree with you. You know what I think it is? It's not that he doesn't care. David Tepper's fucking embarrassed. He's embarrassed. David Tepper has nothing to say to any of us because what is he gonna say when and listen, I'll give credit to Matt Rule and Fitterer. Like, yeah, they sound dumber and dumber every time they do a fucking interview, but at the same time, like, at least they're out there answering questions. David Tepper has zero answers to any of the hard questions that would be pitched his way right now. Because if you asked him, hey, you just hired this coach for 7 years, $63 million, has a losing record in 2 years, what do you contribute that to, Dave? Well, then essentially now he has to go forth and say, oh, well, they're on thin ice. This is a make it or break it year. Thereby, he's putting more pressure on his coaches. Like there is nothing for David Tepper to say because he knows that he fucked this up.
I agree.
And for him to say anything else is just him further embarrassing himself.
But when do billionaires ever apologize? He ain't gonna
never.
Do that.
They never do. None of them never has.
That's why Matt Rule isn't fired yet, right? That's in my opinion. Like if he fires Matt Rule right now, he has to do a press conference. And I think regardless, that's going to be an embarrassing thing, right? So I think he's hoping, fingers crossed, things change for him next year. I think there's definitely moving parts to it, but I do agree. I think that this is I think you can kind of give David Tepper a mulligan on his first coach, right? But if you don't get rid of him when you need to rip the Band-Aid off, like then at that point in time, that mulligan doesn't exist, right? You're choosing to go forward with incompetence. And in that part, I'll agree. I wanted to go one more, then we can move forward. But the idea of saying that Joe Brady was a explosion offensive coordinator, right? This was a guy that ROCKSTAR offensive coordinator. That is not true at all. He was an assistant offensive coordinator at the college level, right? With Joe Burrow and an incredible team in LSU. Right. So to say he was just a rock star like that you went out and got, I mean, we were all excited. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We were thinking, oh, maybe this guy can be it. Right. But he hasn't coached at a high level at any level whatsoever. Like he hasn't been. So even going after him was basically just riding the coattails of a national championship team that was headed by LSU quarterback Joe Burrow, who is clearly showing he is a elite talent in the NFL, which tells me that how much was that to do with Joe Brady and how much was that to do with the talent that he had on his team? So we can talk
Adam
about
Gase of OCs.
Right.
But hold on though. Couldn't I do this in the reverse order though?
Exactly.
Like, but hold on. What's the name of the head coach for the Bengals? I can't remember the dude's name.
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor. Okay. Did Zach Taylor do anything before Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase that indicated that he had an offense that can do what it does now? No, because it turns out when you do have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and a bunch of good offensive linemen, or not necessarily all linemen with the Bengals, but when you have talented players, it makes your offense look a lot better.
What did Zach Taylor?
He's got Tyler Boyd. I mean, they've got weapons.
It's called ego.
Yeah, they added to it.
What did Mike McCarthy do this year?
It's called ego. When David Tepper and Matt Rule, pretty much whoever hired Joe Brady, y'all remember the conversations back then. Matt Rule was all out to trade up for the first pick and get Burrow. He was all out. He was going to give everything he could to get him. It didn't work. So, all right, okay, that's cool. We'll go get this other guy in Texas. None of that worked out. Why? Because Tepper didn't get who he wanted. He stomped his foot. He kicked his heels. He would throw that tantrum like you see kids do. Still didn't work. He still didn't get what he wanted.
Yeah. My whole thing with Tepper is I think y'all are kind of reading it wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. I probably am. But I think it's the opposite. I think this dude is keeping Matt Rule around because he wants a scapegoat, because I think he has his fingerprints all over everything. They had a plan. The plan was going to work. Teddy was going to be here for 2 years. We were going to reset this year. We could have went straight line O-line last year. It's just I think that David Tepper keeps micromanaging everybody, and that's why we're in the position we are.
Well,
y'all know for a while I've said on this very podcast that David Tepper is the Jerry Jones of the NFC South. Man.
Oh boy, I said that so many times.
I'm telling you, this dude, David Tepper, has his big finger in the
Jerry
pot,
Jones has
and
rings.
he's always stirring it up, though, man.
From 30 years ago.
Well, and to be fair, Tepper wanted Justin Fields. He wanted to draft Justin Fields, and Rule and Fitterer are the ones who talked him out of it.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't want him. If David Tepper wanted Justin Fields, I guarantee you Justin Fields would have been our quarterback.
That's what the reporting is suggesting.
David Tepper wanted Justin Fields. He wanted the excitement and the flavor, but he told Rule, "You're in charge," so he had to stick to his guns and allow.
Of course, he's saying that. Of course, he said that.
But
How much,
Tepper wanted a lot. Tepper wanted Joe Burrow. He didn't get him. He wanted Watson. He didn't get him. He wanted Matthew Stafford. He didn't get him. He was very willing to trade up to get the Chargers quarterback, but Marty told him that the Chargers wasn't going to take a quarterback, and they did.
7 years, bro. After the 7-year comment, I would have been like, "You're fired, bro." 7 years? Are you kidding me? Is your wife going to wait 7 years for
myself? I would have fired Matt Rule and his entire staff on Black Monday. I wouldn't have waited. I'd walked up Monday morning and I'd said, "Y'all out."
7 years, bro.
So I'll say,
7 years.
let me say two things real quick. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to follow the New York Giants and all the moves that they make going forward. They have 2 top picks in the draft. They hired Joe Judge the same time Matt Rule was hired.
Yep.
They've already fired him. They've moved on now. So it'll be interesting to see what they
they blew us out. They blew us out the water with no starter.
Yeah,
Yep. Can I point something out real quick, Cody, about that?
Yeah. Right. So after Brad, I'll let you say what you're going to say.
Yeah. To piggyback on that, the Giants are apparently in the running for Brian Flores, and Deshaun Watson is already on record saying that if they hire Flores, he's going there.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Tom, what were you going to say?
Shit.
Dude, I forgot. Messed around and forgot.
Singing moment.
It's all right, man.
That loud pack.
Oh yeah, I got it.
So, but hey, as a matter of fact, hold on. That's actually let me stop you real quick right there, man. Because for those of you who don't know, man, here at the C3 Panthers podcast, we always got a bunch of weird freaks in the chat room who they come here, they got a very weird fetish. And we don't judge anyone, man. We just let them do what they do. But CK, talk to your people, bro.
Oh, well, hello there. I'm glad you guys have joined us on this fantastic Friday free-for-all to talk about the new offensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers, Ben McAdoo, as some might say. He is now going to be leading this team, and you guys are coming here to hear our reactions and join us in reacting as well. And you haven't hit that like button yet? What is going on in your brain right now? This is your subscriber shame.
Subscriber shame. 140 people watching, 60 thumbs up.
I like that.
Hit the like, hit the subscribe. That helps us to grow C3 Panther Nation, man. Listen, man, the Panthers might be terrible. They might be only around from September until January. But, man, the C3 Panthers podcast, we're here all year round, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Yeah, man, we love doing these conversations, man, every Friday at 7, man. This is your show to come in and let your voice be heard about the Carolina Panthers, man. So hit that thumbs up. Let me cycle Dave back in. Like I said, I'm going to have to cycle some people in and out to make sure we get everybody. Yeah, what's up, Nick?
I'm gonna bounce out of here. I got to get up at 3:00 for work. So
hard working man, bro. I respect it, dude. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on as always, man. We'll be here every Friday, dude.
Definitely, guys. I'll see you guys next Friday. All right, keep pounding.
Peace and love, Nick. Later, man. Later, brother. All right, we got Dave back in the room. Let me bring my man Tony back in the room. All right, we're good, man. Yeah, so let's continue this conversation in about 10 or so minutes. We'll try and get this mock draft going.
Hey, Dave.
All right, so what I was going to say about Matt Rule is this. I told y'all I didn't like him when he got here, the whole speech. But as the time went on, the reason why I really always despise Matt Rule, and who remembers this? Matt Rule did not choose the Panthers first. He wanted to go where?
The Giants.
He wanted to go play for the Giants. And then even after Tepper did something with him that no other rookie coach had ever been given, he called the Giants to see if they would match where, and they probably was like, well, what are they paying you? And he told them, and they was like, man, fuck that. You might as well stay down there and coach in Carolina. Because the Giants, because I remember a lot of owners being mad that he offered them that type of money because they thought he was going to change the pay scale of coaches.
They reset the
But Matt Rule never wanted to be here.
Didn't he want to go to the Jets?
And this is the guy that people get behind. You're supposed to be happy to get the job. Even when he got all that money, he still called the Giants and asked if they would match.
I would have done that though.
Yeah,
I'd have said, "Can you give me more?"
But no. Listen, I mean, I hear you though, and that is a good point though. Like Matt Rule is from up north. He's from New York. You knew that in his heart of hearts, he wanted to be a New York Giant. Listen, man, if I have a billionaire in my
they can have him now. They can have him now.
Hey, we can trade coaches. I'm all for it.
If I got a billionaire,
they want them first picks.
They don't have.
I'll give them Christian McCaffrey.
If there's a billionaire in my living room offering me a 7-year, $63 million deal, bro, the only person I'm calling is my mama and telling her that we're rich. Okay?
Yeah, we came up. I ain't got to call another team.
Yeah, we came up. I ain't talking to no one else, man.
Yeah, but Matt Rule said he ain't got to be here. He can do something else. Remember that?
Yep.
He said that.
He can go to college.
Yeah.
Well, so why are you still here? I'm gonna tell you why he's still here. I'm tell you why he's still here.
I don't mind the third year. I don't mind him.
Now that everybody's seen what you do, nobody wants to fuck with you, and therefore you can't go. Unless he's going back to college. But now that everyone's seen how he acts, what he does, who he throws under the bus, who he praises, who he doesn't praise. Now that they got book and readings, just like players. Now that they got tape on them, nobody wants to fuck with you. So when you say I don't have to be here, that's a lie.
But don't he get more money if he gets fired than quit and go to college?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If he
they can
tries to
out,
quit,
he get like a payout.
Yeah, it's $25 million though.
$25 million to buy his contract.
Yeah, it's not an insignificant amount of money.
That's
and that's
$25 to Tepper.
That really is. No. Well, it'd be $25 million for a Rule to buy out his contract to go out elsewhere, right? So I don't know if that. Okay.
If Tepper fires Matt Rule, whatever's left on his contract, Tepper still pays.
Cody, start a GoFundMe to pay out Matt Rule's contract.
To pay out, Matt. Yeah, I mean it's just $25 million. That ain't nothing, bro.
Listen, I'm already broke from the Muncham buyout.
Yeah, I'm not raising any money for that clown.
Yeah, I'm not giving no millionaires any more money than I'm already. I'm already paying too many millionaire politicians already.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Bro, all this shit's just politics, man. Really. I mean,
politics as usual.
Cody, I got a question for you, for real.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
And you're down deep in your heart. Who's our starting quarterback next year?
A free agent.
So, okay, hold on. Are you asking who I want? Like, if I had any pick, who I'm picking, or who do I think it'll actually be?
Who do you think? Like, what's going to happen?
I mean, honestly, if I'm being real, man, as much as I hate to say it, man, like now, I was disagreeing with Tony on this, but now I kind of think it's a likely scenario that the Panthers might look to draft a quarterback, man. And I'm not even saying I'm down with that. Like, if you ask me what my heart wants, bro, forget the off the field stuff. From a football perspective, I want Deshaun Watson. I'm a Clemson fan.
That dude ain't even going to answer the phone.
No, I know, and then that's not even to mention all the off-field shit. Like, I understand Deshaun is probably not going to happen at this point, but looking at the options that we have to us, it's either you draft a quarterback sometime in the first round, or you're, trading for another one of these guys who, frankly, doesn't represent much of an upgrade over, what we've had in the near future. Like, I know everybody wants to shit all over Cam Newton and call him done, But if we're gonna go with the bridge quarterback, I mean, I trust Cam Newton more than I do Sam Darnold. So
we're gonna bring back Teddy.
No shot.
Teddy would never come back.
Just like we brought back Cam. We cut him, and now we bring Cam
You
back.
mean Teddy Pendergrass?
Yeah, oh, Teddy Bathwater, bro. Come on, bro.
I think our only shot at Deshaun Watson was last year. After this year and the shit show that was the Carolina Panthers and the offensive line just taking a huge step backwards, there is not a single shot on the face of the planet he will ever waive his no trade clause for the Carolina Panthers.
Deshaun Watson's going to play next year.
I think I want to go back to the quarterback thing. As first, is that Deshaun Watson? It's a pipe dream. We don't have the assets to do it. He gets to pick where he wants to go. Like CK said, that ship sailed last year and was going to be hard at that moment, particularly when all the allegations came out. But the way I think about it is this: is Matt Rule didn't get fired. He did not get fired yet. I mean, maybe it could happen, but I doubt it. Right? Every day that goes by and they let him hire an OC, he's going to be here for a third year. Now, unless he is stripped entirely of his, like if he's emasculated by David Tepper, he'll have to just make the best pick for the team in the long run, right? Which is going to be getting an offensive lineman, right? Or trading back, right? But I don't think trading back is as easy as people believe, particularly in a draft where there is, like, I read one mock draft from The Athletic, and they said there's not any like super elite player, like one guy
Hamilton
who is the best of the draft. So some people are saying it's this safety, is this for Notre Dame, but it's not like a Clowney of the past type draft, where it's like that's your number one pick consensus, right?
Evan Neal's he's probably one of the best players too.
So I think this is that if the Carolina Panthers, if they allow Matt Rule to trade for a free agent or go get another free agent, it seems like you are still trying to find a way to salvage something. If you go and draft an offensive lineman or best player available, right, or whatever, like it, and it doesn't help your team immediately, it seems to imply to me that there's no way Matt Rule could survive another year. Like, I mean, it's just impossible, right? You're playing the long game too late. But if Matt Rule is given an opportunity to salvage, like try to find a way to keep his job, like a legitimate opportunity, I think there's only one way. And that is you go and spend not a bunch, but as much as you can in free agency, all on the offensive line. You allocate all of those assets to the offensive line. You come back, you bring Christian McCaffrey back and hope that he can be healthy for another season. And at 6, you draft a quarterback that can generate optimism about the future. What you would do is you would sit him behind Sam Darnold at the first hint of struggle from Sam Darnold.
Week 1?
Yeah, well, week 1.
Yeah, that's how
you would generate excitement, hopefully, by putting in your quarterback. You're hoping that Sam Darnold finds a little success for a little while, and then something happens, and then a team is starting to feel good about itself, and then Pickett comes in or whoever comes in and can find a way to pull out some wins and just generate excitement for the fan base. But if you go and just pick an offensive lineman and play this straight and say we're gonna pick an offensive lineman, I don't care if he's the best left tackle in the draft, he ain't gonna fix that line tomorrow. And on top of that is like you're gonna go trot out Sam Darnold. I mean, you might as well just fire him right now then.
Yeah, I would go after Brown, bro, for real.
And free agency, Orlando Brown.
I think they're going to tag him, people have been telling me.
The thing about, signing these veteran O-linemen is, like, we haven't had success in that either. We've signed Matt Khalil. We've signed Matt Paradis.
Well,
what's that?
But
Matt Khalil was kind of injured.
I know. I feel like we gave him the bag. We gave him a bag to get Matt Khalil.
We
signed
the wrong people. We should have signed Trent Williams like 3 years ago. He was sitting there hating Washington. We just picked the wrong guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Matt Khalil one was the most expensive. You gave him a crap ton of money, and you could have gotten who we ended up getting later on, which was Russell Okung. Both of those guys Russell Okung went on to the Chargers and had some success. So we did pick the wrong guy. I felt though at some of that was not our just like we can't get it right, because that was Dave Gettleman that did some of those. That one is that Dave Gettleman was like kind of in a position Matt Rule is right now. He was too little too late at that moment. He was picking Christian McCaffrey after years with no skill players, him and then DJ, or I think maybe DJ was Hurney. But then do you remember he also picked, like he was reeling after that Josh Norman debacle.
Yep.
Like ever since the Josh Norman debacle, Dave Gettleman has been on tilt and hasn't stopped since. And I mean, Christian McCaffrey was kind of a knee-jerk reaction to not having any offensive weapons at the time. So Paradis also was injured as well. What about Lakin Tomlinson? Like, but if you went and got two good guards, right off the bat, and then hoped you could figure it out with Irvin or Brady Christensen, or what I'm saying, like, or somehow, or maybe I guess you draft in. Maybe you could draft somebody else at 4.
I don't know. You draft the tackle and then you move Christensen to the guard spot, and you have Brown and Christensen.
No. We're not doing that.
That's what Rule wants to do. Rule thinks he's a guard.
I don't give a damn what Rule thinks. That's part of the problem. Fitterer thinks he can play left tackle. I'm rolling with him.
I think he can, bro. I really do. I'm not saying he'll be a pro, but can he be solid? I think so.
And by the way,
he had the highest PFF grades at the left tackle position all season. He had the highest grades. His lowest grades was Cam Irving's highs. I'm good. I want him to play left tackle.
Correct.
We're past this part.
At this point, he's demonstrated that he can play left tackle in the NFL. There's no point in moving him back.
Correct.
There's really not. And the thing that's crazy. So the thing that I think I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they go out and try to get a couple of guards in free agency and maybe draft Linderbaum. But I mean, I still stand by my original statement. There is no fucking way that Rule's going to let his last season in Carolina be rest in the hands of Sam Darnold. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. If you get a second round pick, you could probably get Wilkes.
I mean, he went and got him.
But Willis needs time to cook. Like, he's not ready to go right now. He's not.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, J-Stub, stay there, bro. Stay on there. I'm gonna bring you back in just a minute. Fan of the show, KPM, coming on the show. KPM, what's going on, brother?
What's up, guys? Currently trying to stay warm while we got some snow pouring outside.
Oh, y'all got the snow. Y'all can keep that shit down south, brothers.
Hey, where you at, man? KPM, where you at?
I'm in Western North Carolina. Don't want to dox myself.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, I'm in Charlotte, man. And we're just now starting to like
Charleston, none but rain down here.
Yeah,
y'all enjoy it.
Weather's bad over here, man.
The high today was 18 degrees, I believe.
Not to brag or anything, but I'm in Orlando, Florida right now, and it is a sunny 78 degrees.
I want to hear about your sunny 78.
Hey, 75 here in Cali. 75 in Cali, so we're good.
He's definitely bragging.
Yeah, we got Orlando and California just chilling in the sun over here, bro. That's not fair, man.
I had to put friggin' sunscreen on at Disney World today, man. Like,
kick him out, Cody. We're not.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're at Disney World. You're having a good time, man. We're over here.
Put him on cold as balls.
Yeah, but hey man, but what you say? We're getting into this mock draft, man. We've been talking about what the Panthers might do. And look, this is the first of many. We're going to do this a bunch over the course of the next few weeks on the Friday free for all. But I figured let's just have some fun with it, man. Let's get this mock draft underway.
Can I throw something in real quick?
And we can have a discussion about it. Yeah, what's up, man?
There is a free agent named Will Hernandez, a right guard. Ben McAdoo drafted.
Yeah, he was right guard.
I'm not saying he was any good, but
yeah, he's a left guard. Apparently, the Giants fan have said he's very underwhelming. Like, he's been disappointing. But
well, I'm pretty sure anything is better than John Miller. So
yeah.
Well, you can't hardly get worse than that.
All right, man. So look, we're gonna fire up this draft, and pretty much what we're gonna do is when the Panthers are on the clock, we'll get a bunch of different trades teams calling up, talking about wanting to move up, and we'll just make those decisions as they come, man. Like I said, this is the first time we're doing it, so we're just experimenting on the fly, y'all. We're some real rebels out here, man. All right, so let's start this draft, man. And by the way, like as we go forward later this year, I'm gonna have some more evaluations. But the first trade that we have on the block, the Denver Broncos are wanting us to move down to pick 9 and give us a 2nd round pick this year and a 7th round pick this year.
Yeah. Who's already off the board? I can't really see who.
See, that's what I was saying earlier. It sucks because it doesn't really show you the board. Like I would have to exit out of this offer to see who's on the board, and then they don't let me pull it back up. But
I would accept that, honestly. Like that's a pretty good.
Same.
That's
Is there
pretty
another
good.
offer?
Down 3 spots and getting a 2nd. Yeah.
Is there another offer?
No, this is the only offer we have.
Take
so
it.
Who says accept?
Take it.
Me.
No, you got to take that trade. You got to take that.
Yeah, I gotta take it. Gotta add picks.
Yep, I agree. All right, we're accepting it. We are moving down to pick 9.
Another trade.
So again, we're gonna get a bunch of different calls here. The Jets want us to move back 1 pick to number 10, and the number 5 pick their 144th pick in the 5th round.
To move back 1 spot.
Yeah, then we have one from the Steelers. We pick up a 2nd round pick and we move back to 20. Pick up a 4th round. Yeah, that's a little too far back. Then the Washington football team, they want us to move back to pick 11, and they'll give us a 4th round in return.
How about that?
Now,
first
also,
one?
Now,
Go look
as
at
a
that.
reminder,
Go
we
look
can
at that Steelers
counter.
pick.
Yeah, so we can.
I would do the
counter
Steelers
any-
one. I would do the Steelers one.
Yeah,
You get
go
an
for
additional
Steelers.
second.
Another second.
You get an additional second.
Hey,
and
Cody.
4.
20 though, bro. That's 10 spots.
So what?
That's
okay.
Counter that 4th into a 3rd.
Y'all want to do that? Y'all want to try and counter it?
Dude, we
Yeah,
could
you
probably
can
move back.
try.
We could probably move back 1 more spot and get another.
Yeah, we can't trade with the Jets. They fucked us, so we can't trade with them.
Yeah, but someone probably wants to come to 9.
Well, if we can fuck them.
Is there a way you can see who got taken now, Cody? Is there a way you can see who got Is there a way you can see who got taken now? That the thing's gone?
I mean, if I hide this, maybe. I don't know. I've never done this before.
Okay.
No, see, it says who's on the board, but yeah, see, and then I don't know what
Aquanu's still on the board, isn't he?
But we already said that we're going to let ride with Brady Christensen, so we shouldn't be looking at taking a left tackle.
That center's on the board though.
I take him.
Linderbaum might be there. Might be there at 20 still.
So
And
you
that-
have
and that other-
Linderbaum on the board. You have Kenyon Green on the board, who would be a fantastic interior player too.
I like Aquanu
you
though.
also-
I'm sorry, and he can play guard, can he not? Is that what you said? He can play guard as well.
Man, taking a guard at 10, boy. Whew.
Oh, hey man! Shout out to 9 Live Panthers podcast, man. He's like, oh, you have to just click the trade button. All right, so we're back on it.
Well,
Go ahead.
Sorry. If you take Aquanu, and yeah, he plays guard, but he also plays tackle. So if something happens or Brady struggles, you can always kick him out. I mean, you're giving yourself insurance policy.
Hey, so would you want to do this? Move back to 20, but we also get the 52nd pick in the 2nd round, and the 84th pick in the 3rd round. Don't want to try for that one?
I think you
I
should.
think that's a good move.
All right, let's see if it'll do it. It says
Is there a way you can pause the draft while it's going? The other draft?
Yeah, you can pause it.
And they took it.
All right, they accepted. So now we're moving back to pick 20.
Like pause it right before you have the pick.
Yeah,
Linderbaum got picked. Linderbaum got picked.
So we have we can move back to the 40th pick.
We're done. We need to take a pick here.
Yeah,
we need to take a pick here.
We need to take a pick here.
Yep.
We got a second.
I don't
We
want
got
to
2
drop out of
seconds
the
in the
first round
3rd.
at all.
You don't want to move
Oh,
back
I'll do that one. I'll take that one.
That's one more spot. You might as well.
Bro, they're giving a second, or are we just giving away our next pick, or are we giving away another pick?
No, we're just moving down one spot.
If you scroll down, it says pick.
Scroll down, see what else we're getting. What else would we have to give to do it? Scroll that down.
It's probably like a 7th rounder or 5th rounder next year.
Oh,
I would do that. No, wait, no.
You're trading
back in. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, we're trading back.
I say make a pick here, man.
We're trading back too far.
Nah,
make the pick. Yeah,
make a
Let's
pick.
see what the other one's got.
This is the 29th pick. Yeah, I agree. Time to pick a player. All right, so on the board we have Jameson Williams, Devin Lloyd, Garrett Wilson,
Samuel
Sam
Howell.
I don't know about all that.
No, absolutely not.
We traded back too far.
I just said that.
I kind of like Devin Lloyd here.
You can take either Penning. You could take Penning, or you can take Lloyd. You could take Lloyd. We need a linebacker. I mean, it ain't like we don't need a linebacker.
Yeah,
but
we need something to replace Jermaine Carter.
Nakobe Dean is going to be really fucking good too, and he's right there.
Look at defensive ends, and then
at defensive ends we have there isn't a whole ton of name edge players.
I like Penning.
You like who?
I like the tackle from Iowa. That's the one that we should for sure.
Cody, look at linebackers.
Oh, Trevor Penning.
Yep.
Yeah, linebackers. Devin Lloyd is still on the board. Nakobe Dean is on the board. Christian Harris from Alabama is still on the board.
Yeah, we could wait on linebacker.
I mean, honestly, man, at this point, like you're kind of just taking best player available at this point, man. I mean, the whole reason you traded back was to pick up picks. If I'm making this pick, I say Devin Lloyd.
Yeah, I like Devin Lloyd here too.
Yeah.
By the way, 6'3", 235 pounds. So he has the build and the frame to be that kind of linebacker prospect.
Has Mumo went yet?
Who?
The linebacker from I forget.
Is Devin Lloyd is he an inside linebacker?
Devin Lloyd is an inside linebacker. Yeah.
Okay.
The real Zero Chillis is Devin Lloyd's the best inside linebacker in the draft, best middle linebacker. Listen, if I have my vote, I'm taking Devin Lloyd right here. But y'all let me know, man. What y'all want to do?
Lloyd, bro.
It's a need, bro. It's a need.
Yeah, Devin Lloyd.
Take Lloyd.
Devin Lloyd. Everyone says we're going Lloyd. Let's go Lloyd.
Look at us. We didn't take no offensive lineman.
I know.
It's about value. Like it's
When's
about
our next
value,
pick?
and you know.
Coming
We
up here
stopped
soon.
bittering it. What are we doing here?
So I'm gonna do what Kevin said. I'm gonna pause it.
Pause it real fast. See what we got.
Right before it gets to our pick. So we did pick up that second round.
Malik Willis might be sitting there, bro.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Pause.
This is bad.
Yo, Malik Willis is on the board, y'all. Okay.
What's his butt?
You gotta take him, bro.
Did you give him the busy bones?
So
you gotta resume, don't you?
We're
You
not.
got one pick away.
Eagles ain't
All right, no trades. So Malik Willis is still on. He's available to be drafted, man.
You gotta take
him.
Take him.
Take him.
And listen, look, you know that Ben McAdoo prefers the upside, prefers the talent. To me, that's the pick. What do y'all say, man?
Is he blocking?
Is it no? It doesn't block.
We
got
blocker,
man.
Okay.
He's a
Just making sure.
quarterback,
Just
bro.
making sure. I thought
Slayer's still on the board.
We gotta pick
Slayer's still on the board too.
So we're just going to ignore the O line?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We traded back too far. We should.
No,
So this is
I mean,
this is the problem that we've had for so long.
Yeah.
But we've already fixed the O-line with the free agent.
Everybody wants to go after the sexy picks and not what we need.
Yeah, but the problem is that at this point, the mistake we made was that we traded back too far. We traded back too far.
Cody Mays is still on the board, y'all. He's a hell of a good linebacker, a guard. Cody Mays is.
Get through this one so we can do another one, bro. Because this one.
Cody,
well, you got Alex
he's,
Lindstrom. Alex Lindstrom is
he's
still there
listed at
too.
168 right now.
We're still not addressing this line. This is a
Take
bad
Malik
one.
Willis.
Well, hey,
Take Malik
another
Willis
one. Another one to keep in mind
Right
too.
here,
Jamari Salyer, the left tackle from Georgia, he did very well against Aiden Hutchinson when Georgia played Michigan in the playoffs.
We could probably get him with the 60th pick, though.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No.
So if you still want to
Look who's
go
the teams ahead
offensive
of us.
line,
I'd
you'd probably be able to.
Bengals
Look
gonna
at the
get
teams
him.
ahead.
Get. So here's what I think we should do. I think you should take Willis, right? Get your tackle. Get your tackle with your next pick. I mean, there's not that many back
Get
there.
a guard,
We
bro.
probably,
Get a guard
we
with the
probably
next
also
pick.
need to. We also need to get Alec Lindstrom if possible.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's a decent center, and we need a decent center.
Take a long snapper, bro.
Let's definitely not take a long snapper. So all right, let's vote here. Everybody who's in favor of Malik Willis right here, make your voice heard, man.
Get him.
All right,
Get him.
I know I've
Yeah,
got
Willis,
two.
get Willis, man.
Yep.
You gotta
Yeah,
take
go
Willis.
ahead and get him.
You will.
At 40, yeah.
All right, man. We are in consensus. Malik Willis in the second round, dude. Tell me that wouldn't be badass.
Next pick got to be a guard.
All right, we have a trade. So we're picking at 60. The Ravens, they want to give us another third round pick. They want us to move back to 76. And they're going to give us a fourth round as
The
well.
problem is we don't see who's on the board right now.
What else are they? They're asking us to give up one of our fourths too.
Yeah, one of our
Yeah.
fourth round picks, but they give us a. So
That's
we would pick later in the fourth than our current fourth round pick.
That'd be a no.
Do it. I would take it personally because that's a lot more. That is moving back, but it's also getting us more picks in the third round.
You get more
Yeah.
top 100 picks.
Yeah,
Yep.
but that's what I was about to say, though.
Is Lindstrom
We're-
here? I mean, is he going to be here in the next pick?
Lindstrom
We're
will be
gonna-
there at 117. He's right now. He's rated at 117.
But
So
they could
Wait,
be
so
I'd
can I just
rather
bring this back up like that?
yeah, I think so. If you just offer the same trade for him.
It didn't do it. See what the hell? I thought it let you click
I
trade
mean,
and then you bring back
He's
up
still
the
there.
trade.
The Georgia offensive lineman is still there.
Jamari Salyer is still there. Hey, who was that other guy you were just mentioning?
It's Cody Mays.
Lindstrom.
Alec Lindstrom.
Lindstrom.
But
He's way down there.
He's rated like 117.
1-7. Yeah, okay. So on the board right now, this is our second round. This is our second round pick. Isaiah Spiller, Joe Pascal, who's an edge rusher. Dude, if it's me, I'm saying take Jamari Salyer right there. I mean, then push comes to shove, you have Brady Christensen at left tackle, put Salyer at left guard. You have Deontay Brown at right guard, Moten at right tackle. Dude, that's the start of a pretty badass offensive line. And I think Jamari Salyer could probably play center as well. So y'all,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I like that. Y'all want to go with Salyer?
do it.
Yeah.
Boom. Jamari Salyer is a Carolina Panther.
Is Tennessee's Cody Mays still on the board?
Yes.
Okay, I like him pretty well. He can play any position on the offensive line.
All right.
The trade note?
Chicago Bears. They want us to move to pick 71. Yeah, they're wanting us to
Straight
move
back.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're keeping our draft picks.
No.
Yeah, I agree with that. Decline. And see, it's also a good method to learn new players too. Like whenever you're finished with this draft, you might not know some of the names that you picked, but then you can look at them and go, okay, now I have some film to look at and see what kind of player they are. All right, so Jacksonville, they want us to move down to pick 102. They also want to give us a 6th round pick, and they want our 84th pick.
No.
Decline that. That 6th round pick is not going to be anything. So
yeah, not enough. All right.
Unless it's Trey Smith and we pass on him.
All right, some of the players we have. Now, this is where it starts to get to the part of the draft where I'm not clear on all the players.
It's impossible for you to know about all these guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
I still like Cody Mays. I'm sorry, I do.
Who is there? Is there a interior defensive lineman? It's hard to see.
I think the guy from Tulsa right there. No, say, or else offensive.
Zachary Carter, John Ridgeway. Now, there's a lot of SEC teams here too. And by the way, chat, if there's names that you are familiar with, let us be known, man. Let us know. We're reading chat.
Who's at the tackle position?
At the tackle position? Jason
Kenyard.
Machine Walker.
No, that's not a guy. Never mind.
When's our next pick?
Our next pick. I don't know. It doesn't show you.
It's right. We're on the board now, ain't we?
Yeah.
Press trade. Yeah. Press trade, and it'll show you all the options.
Click.
Look at just pick a random team to be a trade partner, and then you can see all the picks you got.
Yeah.
Number 84.
So this is 84. We pick at 104. We pick at 142, 147.
And we have 27. Is this taking into account compensatory picks?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Okay, so I would think let's go back and look. We need edge help badly, right? I think Alec Lindstrom's a good pick, but I think he'll still be there at 84. So
he'll be there at 104.
More than likely.
Are you sure? Now hold on, because if we were in a draft room, it might be a little bit of an over evaluation, but it's like if you like the player and he's still there, maybe you should take that pick. But if we didn't pick Lindstrom right here? Who would be in consideration?
I think Arnold. The edge there. A guy I can't pronounce his last name to say.
Why do we need another edge?
Because we don't have one. I mean,
he's 250 pounds, so he's also not very.
I wouldn't take him too. He don't weigh enough. We need a defensive end, I think, not necessarily an edge.
Is the tight end BPA right now?
Tight end would be BPA. Yeah.
What about a corner? We're going to lose Jackson.
Man, I'm so tired of getting corners, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, but it's kind of a late round pick.
We don't need a corner. Why do we need a corner?
You need someone to play the third option.
We got J.C. Horn. We got J.C. Horn. We're probably going to re-sign Stephon Gilmore. We got C.J. Henderson on the pine.
Yep.
Like we got corners.
And Keith
corners
Taylor.
ain't the problem here.
We already got
He's the best player on the board, though. I mean, probably.
As far as edges, I mean, we
need.
Hey, real quick, let me put my
Reddick.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna put you in the back real quick. Just stay there, though. I'm gonna get you back in. And then I got my man from New Orleans representing Panther Nation from the Bayou. My man Chad. Chad, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys?
Hey, man, sorry you were waiting so long, dude. I didn't even see you, man.
Nah, dude, you're perfectly fine, man. You're perfectly fine. Between y'all and PNP, y'all are like the only reasons why I'm staying a Panthers fan, because we're pathetic.
Appreciate you, man. Happy you're enjoying the content, man.
I'm thankful.
Always, man.
I say you take a tackle.
Man.
You're going to need someone back up Christensen.
Algernon said I'm acting like Federer.
We need Cody Mays. He can play inside or outside.
So his name is Cade Mays.
Yeah. I get that messed up. Cade Mays. Yeah.
And
what round are we in right now?
Yeah.
Right now we're in the third round.
Click on it. Y'all could read about it.
Yeah, but he's 168. I mean, that's pretty far.
I'm going to say what some people are thinking. Fuck all that. I mean, we need to go another O-line.
Yeah.
And another O-line.
That might
and another O-line. And another O-line. Until we get it right.
Somebody's going to be good.
I mean, dude, you got to.
I mean, we did that with the corners.
You're going to hit on one eventually.
Not really. We did that with corners, and we didn't get any of them.
But I mean, but back to what Fitterer said during his press conference, they realize they need to get bigger on the defensive line too. So we have to assume that they're going to pick some defensive linemen, whether that's an edge rusher or an interior defensive lineman. I mean, they're not. We need to come to terms with the fact that Hassan Reddick is probably not playing here next year, right?
I disagree. I disagree. I think he is going to play next year. I think we're going to tag him. I think he's going to be our main target. With Rule coming back too, I think he's going to be our guy.
Yeah,
he needs to be.
Do we have another tag candidate?
I mean, only one that I know.
Dante Jackson,
probably
maybe.
No, Dante Jackson is not tag worthy.
Yeah, I wouldn't put a tag on Dante either. So listen, man, I say we just make it real simple. I say either we go best player available and just take one of these tight ends, or I say we just go Alex Lindstrom. You know, like my man T. Thompson shouting in the chat, we need offensive line. I say let's just take Lindstrom. Either that or you're positive that he's going to be there at pick 104, and you just take one of these players, right?
I mean, Ian Thomas is not going to be there, so we're not going to have a tight end.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Were we the number 2 defense last year? Like ranked?
No.
Overall?
No.
Statistically,
we were. But the problem with that stat is it's so one-sided, and it's such a cherry-picked stat.
So let me kind of clarify that. We were the number 2 in yards allowed per game, right?
Yes.
We were not number 2 in points or anything like that. As far as, and if you actually look at the metrics, we were, I think it was like 30th out of 32 teams during the last 6 games of the year. So we fell off of a cliff, right? I mean, that defense, looking at it from the perspective of we were the second best yards from scrimmage defense in the entire NFL, and really holding a candle to that and hanging your hat on that is a mistake.
But is that because we were on the field? The defense was on the field for 3 hours?
It has everything to do with the fact that they were getting a shit field position because we were always either punting from our 10 or we were throwing an interception or going for it on 4th down because we didn't have a kicker or a punter that we thought was going to be able to do much to flip the field for us. And quite, I mean, like I said, I think that has more to do with it than anything. But the other part is teams were going up on us so much that there was no need for them to even do anything but run the ball. And when you have a game that's not competitive by the second half, the yards aren't going to be in the favor of the team that wins. So I mean, it's a deceptive yardage. It's a deceptive stat. That's why I say that.
I'm pretty sure time has expired on this draft pick.
But yeah, but we would have been screwed at this point. But,
I'm for taking Alec Lindstrom if that's the direction we want to go.
So do we want to go best player available, or we just want to pick Alex Lindstrom?
O-line.
I think Lindstrom plays center. Yeah, let's just do it. If we like the player, there's no
we
point.
We need a center.
Yeah. All right, we're going Alex Lindstrom. And by the way, I'm going to do more evaluations. I don't know who any of these other guys are. Tyler Smith, pick 87. So the Cardinals want us to trade up. I say we decline that, right?
Yeah, we're giving up is the 4th.
Hey guys, what's the name of this link?
Huh?
What's the name of this program?
This is the draft network.
Well, I'm using this is the draft network.
So wait, we're giving up. Okay, there it goes.
No,
is it an app, Cody? Is it an app? I want to play around with this.
Nah. Yeah, so this is a website. I just paid for the premium subscription. They'll let you do a mock draft, but it doesn't do the trades unless you either pay a year or pay for monthly.
Cody, you got ripped off. I got one for free.
Yeah, well, let me get the free link.
Yeah, you're supposed to give me the hookup, bro. Yeah, but
I've been doing it all day.
But it doesn't let you trade.
Yeah, it does.
No,
so I want to talk to the guy with the free link.
I've been traded.
They want the Titans want us to move up to pick 96. They want a 4th round pick, 104. They want 5. This is
no, I ain't giving him 3 picks.
Yeah, we're not giving up all that much, right? We're taking our picks.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, so we'll decline this.
Everybody wants us to trade up.
Yeah, we're declining everybody, right? We don't even need to entertain all this shit.
We didn't do it last year. We took every phone call.
I know, right?
It's probably going to be the case this year.
We're going to do the same thing this year. Houston wants us to go back to 129, or we can just stay put and make a pick right here.
Just stay right here. That's too far.
Yeah, man. That's what they did last year with us. It was like everybody called the Panthers. They'll take anything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we were telling everybody that, hey, well, call
When
us.
in doubt, call the Panthers.
Yeah, man.
I ain't gonna lie. I kind of like our picks. I kind of like
James Cook is still.
I do too, Alex. I think this is. Someone in the chat room was saying this draft sucks.
Bro,
I've seen way worse than this, bro.
Dalvin Cook's brother still available?
James
Oh
Cook.
no!
Yeah,
we could definitely use a power back.
But he's not a power back, though. He's not a power back. He's 190. He's 190 pounds.
I think they're gonna try to turn Chuba into that power back.
Yeah,
we can use a safety.
That's what I'm thinking too. It's
we
kind of
could use another running back because we got to get CMC.
Yeah,
out.
James Cook out of the SEC. He's got blazing speed. I like him a lot. Runs hard.
Does he do returns? Is he good in returns?
Dude, I'll be lying to you if I told you that I knew that.
That's what we got Abdul on the team for.
Yeah, Abdul is good.
Yeah, if we draft this guy for the running for just the kick return, I mean that's a fail in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not. Don't do it for that reason.
Well,
but
that's what they said about Steve Smith, and he turned out a little bit better in the kick.
So
return.
listen, we're saying that we want a power
took
back.
off on this first one to
They're
the
saying
house.
that we need a power back to
That'd be Iowa
complement
State, right?
Christian McCaffrey. Brees Hall is 6'1", 220 pounds.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey is an unavailable back.
What about a tight end?
I think he's going to be cut after 23.
Oh, he's done. He's done after 22. We could cut him after 22.
Yeah,
I think that as much as I'd hate to see him go because he is a phenom, but I mean, if anything, he's just a waste of space right now because I mean, he's never on the field. He's not productive because he's always hurt, and I hate to say that.
Like his coach.
I mean, he's productive when he's on the field, but he's just never on the field.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
I mean, if
That's
there's
the
one
worst
thing, there's one thing that Matt Rule has as a defense is the fact that his best player hasn't been available to him at all.
Yeah,
pretty much his entire regime here.
Yeah, and I mean, has there already been any speculation about using him in the slot?
I'm
yeah,
sure
that's what everybody wants. Everybody's talking about moving Christian to the slot. But that's my question, though. So what do you do right here, man? With the board as it is, we already took a linebacker earlier.
Tight end.
Honestly, we could use another one, man. Double dipping at linebacker might not be such a bad thing. Considering play. I think linebacker would be,
if we trade away Shaq once we pick up that first rounder.
How about tight end?
Tight end. So the tight ends that they have available are not.
They probably can get them further back.
Yeah, none of them are like real names at this point.
Yeah.
Or at least none that. Now Braden Galloway is my man from Clemson. That dude's very underrated. But man, I don't know. I kind of say at this point in the draft, round 4, just kind of go best player available right here.
If we're planning to get rid of McCaffrey, I say go Cook.
So
yeah, I would too.
Now, would you guys prefer James Cook over a player like Brees Hall, or are you okay with Chuba Hubbard being the power back in the Panthers offense?
No, I'm not really okay with him being a power back.
Is that guy from Wisconsin? What's the position?
He is an inside linebacker. Yeah, Leo Chanel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's 6'2", 250 pounds. He's a big, powerful dude. They say his best fit is an early down inside linebacker and odd front defenses.
If we're cutting McCaffrey, go Cook. I mean,
have you taken safety at all?
No, I say we pick safety, either
So-
safety or running back.
Let me ask you guys a question, man.
Safety.
Are any of you guys interested in just if we could do it, like get the best first 5 rounds players we can get? And who gives a shit about the 6th and the 7th round?
Get Haskins, Hassan Haskins.
Hassan Haskins.
He's a power back, the running back.
I mean, Tua was a late round pick. Brady Christensen was a late round pick.
He is a running back.
Yeah.
Late round picks can
He's
come in handy, bro.
6'1", 220.
Yeah. You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
who
he
falls.
is. But like that's my question. Like, if you're gonna go for a running back here, what style would you want? Because you have your pick of all of them. You have the big power back that you can run between the tackles, but then you also have a guy like James Cook that can bounce it to the outside. as well.
What's our offensive line going to look like?
Grinding approach to his carries and wears down opposing defenses.
Is Alabama's running back still there or no?
Yeah, he's like predicted like 6th or 7th.
Yeah, I take him in the 6th, bro.
Yeah, Brian Robinson Jr.
I take him in the 6th for sure.
Yep. So do you guys want to go best player available then and try and take a running back a little bit later on?
Yeah, later on.
I would just
want Haskins.
James Cook.
I go with safety, but I'll be all right with Cook.
All right, how many people want us to go running back right here?
I'm back.
All right, so Chad, who else wants to go running back?
I'll take running back.
All right, I got 2 running backs. But all right, my question is who though?
Yeah, let's take a running back here. I mean,
yeah,
safety, bro.
I want Haskins.
You
He's
could
more of a
go.
power back
I do like.
for
I
short
will
yardage.
say, my HBU ties. I do like Marquise Bell from Florida A&M. I really do.
He's nice. He's nice.
Marquise Bell. Hey, he's another bigger guy, 6'2",
Yeah,
205
I like it.
pounds.
Like, and the thing is, because he goes to a FCS school, goes to HBCU, he ain't gonna get opportunities like that. But I think he's a dog. Like he balls. He's a dog.
Dave, you've been in the crates, Dave.
I'm always in the look when it's HBCU football, bro. I'm always in the crates when it comes
Hey,
to that.
man. Hey, yeah, that's a great pick, bro. I mean, that guy,
yeah.
like you said, he's hidden. He's hidden.
And with nobody, nobody. I mean, even like a receiver right here, like another 6'5".
You got enough receivers, man.
We're done with that.
Oh no, I don't know. But I like the size. I like the size of Marquise Bell. And
all right, so which running back we're going for with what pick we got? Pick 104. What running back we're going with?
If we're thinking of running back, go with
James Cook.
Dude was averaging 6.4 yards a carry last year.
and you're splitting carries.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, T. Thompson. I saw you in the chat, bro. You're not going to get your wish. James Cook is our pick at 104.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a bad pick, man. Like, you know, later rounds like that, I don't mind a running back. Anytime between round 1 and 3, I'm normally not feeling that. All right, the Colts want us to move. They want us to move up. We ain't doing that, right?
So what? So is Cook gonna be our second running back?
Whoa! Honestly, I might.
Wait a minute.
I would
If
actually.
Marquise
I would
Bell's
take
on the
this.
board, you do it.
I would take
If Marquise
this.
Bell's on the board, you do it.
I would
If
take
Marquise
that.
Bell is on the
I would
board, you
take
do
that.
it.
You get a lot better
Y'all want?
value.
All right, y'all want to move up?
Yes.
Because we would be
Marquise-
jumping up to 118.
If Marquise Bell's on the board, you do it and take him.
So we accepting this? Y'all want to do this?
I would take
Yes,
it.
absolutely. Accept it.
Take
All right, let's do it.
Take Marquise Bell's
Yeah,
the pick,
Marquise
guys.
Bell.
Marquise Bell, safety out of any. I like his size.
6'2" safety, absolutely.
And it says he is a starting strong safety. All right. Marquise Bell, it is at pick 118.
Now, I mean, the Rattlers are all right, but you know what? For this situation, when you make a Rattler a Panther, I'm not as angry about it.
Tyndale's still on the board too.
Yeah, Channing Tyndall.
Hey, Dave.
Yes, sir.
I got an undergraduate degree at North Carolina Central University, bro.
Yeah, I went to A&T, man, so.
Yo, we shouldn't be talking then. Let's just get back to the
No. I know you got to be more silent, sir. I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, I don't let that stuff get to me.
Me and Cody can talk.
All right, we're back on the board again.
Fly,
147. Our 5th round pick. And where we going here, man?
Let's take a look at what we can. We take a look at pick-wise already.
Take a look at who?
Take a look at who we've already selected.
Yeah, we've taken Devin Lloyd, Malik Wills, Jamari Sellier, Alex Lindstrom, James Cook, and Marquise Bell. Hey, this is not a bad draft, if I do say so myself. I mean that's
Take
not
a guard,
a bad
bro.
list, man.
Guard, how many linemen we got on that list?
2.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, man. And you have to consider like this
And one
is
of them
another
is a
thing.
center, right? One is a center.
Yeah, Lindstrom we're gonna project as a center.
That's not a bad list. That's not a bad list.
And you have Brady Christensen and Deontay Brown already on the roster. You're still hoping that you see more of them. Like that's a good old line, man. You might have rebuilt your entire offensive line in 2 drafts. That's not that bad.
Maybe we go D-line, like a big guy. Big D-line.
Bro, how about Zamir White was still on the board too, man?
That's what I was saying.
Damn. Yeah, man.
No,
All
I
right,
like
so
our D line, man. We just got to teach Reddick and Burns how to set the edge.
What about linebacker?
yeah, linebacker.
How about more O-line?
Yeah, if we could get another O lineman.
Do y'all think that Brian Burns could be a trade piece this offseason? Out of curiosity.
I don't want him to be. I mean, damn, he's the Pro Bowler, so he definitely can be.
Yeah, he's trade. He could be traded if you want to. If you're trying to,
If we wanna get
value
How
with some
about
draft
this?
assets, you
Yeah.
could do it. But I don't want to trade him.
And how
But I
about
ain't
this?
trying to trade Burns. Damn that.
If the Panthers, if the Panthers trade for any quarterback,
They got
Brian Burns is going to be a part of that package.
Didn't I see something about Kirk Cousins freaking being a
We were
potential?
talking about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
dude, I'll fold the season next
We
year. I won't even watch.
quickly rejected that.
So who are we thinking about right here, man? We have a safety. I mean, we've pretty much gotten everything that we need. Now we're kind of just drafting for depth. Hey,
got
linebacker.
hey, man, y'all want to look at a tight end too?
A
Like
long
that?
snapper. Let's get another long snapper like they did last year.
Bro, we already
Yeah,
got
a long
one. There,
snapper.
man. Shit, we spent a premium pick on a long
What kind
snapper.
of shit was that?
Yo, we'll probably spend it on a punter this year.
Is there any free safeties there or not really?
So it doesn't really differentiate between them.
Yeah.
Like it just said safety, you know.
I
Which
feel
I
like
think
any
is
safety
true.
in
And that's
this
where
round is going to
the
get
safety we
beat
just
out.
picked is probably going to be a free safety.
Oh, how about this dude right here, man? Nick Cross. It says he's a developmental starting free safety. And isn't that kind of what you're hoping for in the 5th round? Like a guy that you can pick up and
develop.
and develop them. Like that's kind of.
But Cody, Carolina's not a great developing team, though. We don't develop players.
I know, man. Especially not Matt Rule. I don't trust Matt Rule to develop anyone, man. I think
I don't know
all of
what
our
that
players.
practice squad does. It's just
Yeah, but if we're making a pick right here, I'm voting for Nick Cross.
What if we got a defensive tackle?
A defensive tackle. Yo, there's a Tagovailoa available. Whoa, that's crazy, man.
Oh yeah, that's his brother, I think.
some of his brother at Maryland. Yeah, University of Maryland.
No, this dude says
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Oh, I didn't even know they were
maybe,
out there.
Yeah, maybe it's a different Tagovailoa.
It was hyphenated. It was hyphenated.
Yeah, that's true. It was hyphenated. I mean, yeah, dude. If I'm voting, yeah, I'm
we'll go
picking
Nick
Nick
Cross.
Cross. I don't know about y'all, man.
I'll take Cross.
How do y'all feel that Jeremy Chin did this year, all in all?
Great.
Jeremy Chin, yeah, right?
I thought
So-
I thought Jeremy Chin dropped off tremendously, but but it was also due to some other things. But I felt like he got beat a lot this year.
And we're gonna take Nick Cross right here.
And it's kind of a hard year to repeat.
Say, like,
the year he had.
Chin,
I think
Chin
Jeremy
made
Chin actually fits better at linebacker.
I think it was just a
outside
sophomore
linebacker.
jinx, man.
I
He
mean,
needs to play closer
The
to the
guy
line
had
scrimmage.
2 strip sacks for fumbles last year.
And I also thought he was playing out of position this year.
hey, my man, Coach Mays is still on the board.
Yep, he sure is, man. Let's see if we're gonna. Wait, are we even gonna have enough?
Well, he won't be here in a minute, though.
We don't pick next until 198. That's our next pick.
Get a punter, bro.
Get a Gatorade refiller.
Yeah, sorry, Kenneth. He went to the Cowboys.
Take
What about that Georgia
Well, I hope he
inside
sucks,
guard?
Yeah, right.
How about the last pick of the draft? If that
Username
quarterback
is
from
your
Georgia,
Yahoo
take
email
him.
address.
Yeah, man. Every year they count. Every
Say it
time
one
they
more time, J Stubbs. What were you saying?
I'm saying, in the last pick of the draft, if that quarterback from Georgia's there, just take him as a backup.
Hey, they got Trey
Hey.
Turner on the board here, y'all.
They already automatically picked a tackle. That's a tackle.
They did.
It's on like
who?
auto draft.
Oh, it just auto drafted our pick. Yeah.
There is a bug, but
it auto drafted our pick at like.
You said that Stetson kid is still available?
Yo, how did it auto draft? I never said.
Pause it.
Well, at least click on see who we drafted.
Backup.
Yo, we took an offensive tackle from Central Michigan, bro.
God's plan.
Yeah, right. God.
I guess they got angry. They got angry.
So
at
what
us.
is it? Is it gonna let me pick this next
Zeke
one?
Zeke. Nah.
Yeah, we'll just take our next pick to draft our next head coach.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
wait
so
a minute.
now we can pick.
This left tackle or this tackle we drafted, it says he's built like an interior lineman that doesn't appear to play with functional length. Yeah, he's an inside lineman. Matt Rule ain't gonna let him play outside.
Is that
He ain't got no length.
quarterback from Georgia there?
So what school did he go to?
He went to Central Michigan.
If we went to Baylor, he'd be the third pick.
Yeah,
Damn
Central
right.
Michigan. Central Michigan. That's where Taylor Mobley went. I think that's what. Yeah, Taylor Mobley.
Hey, that's why Taylor Moton wanted him. That one of him must be his buddy.
Yeah, man. I mean,
hey, look at the guards real fast.
Is Stedman there?
He's actually returning to Georgia, man.
Is he really?
Yeah.
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 Stetson going back.
He's played like 9 years, hasn't he? Damn.
Hey,
Kevin,
they got
what
Marquise
position
Haynes on here. Yo.
Guard.
Damn, Hunter Renfro.
Marquise Haynes.
Like offensive lineman. It'll be under offensive lineman.
Yeah, this is it.
We get rid of one Haynes and gain another.
Yeah, really, Marquise Haynes. I mean, this is our last pick, so.
I think we should get a football holder in case of windy weather.
Yeah, right.
I'd say just take a linebacker, man.
Yeah, linebacker edge.
Another linebacker?
I mean,
Linebacker edge.
Might as well, dude.
In the 7th round?
I need somebody to play special teams.
Wait, but hold on, Dave. You said another one. Like, bro, we need more than one. Like, we need some depth at the linebacker.
We've only picked
I know,
one.
man. I know.
We've only picked one.
Like, I mean, dude, if you look at Louvu, we got to sign Frankie Louvu. Jermaine Carter Jr. hasn't been the answer. Shaq Thompson played his best football this last year. Like, we need help at the linebacker position. Like, that's why I love.
Gonna go crazy next year.
Like, that's why I loved
for the
Devin
Giants.
Lloyd with our first pick. And no, we better not let Frankie Louvu leave, bro.
Nah,
Frankie
no way.
Louvu is a dog, bro.
I want to keep him, but some teams will overpay him. You know that.
Yeah.
Then just pay that, man.
So this is the final pick. Who we want to go
See if
with?
we can trade back.
Trade back.
To what?
You said to who? To what?
Yeah, I'll take your 7th for our 6th.
We got a North Carolina dude.
That shit is out of here.
Bro, everybody's short at this point. All the linebackers are like 5'8", bro.
Draft that wide
hell
receiver.
Who?
What position
Chase
you think
Lucas.
What position you think you hit most in the draft?
Hey, how about this? Look,
O-line.
look. How about this? The best player available is an edge rusher. I say let's just go Dominic
edge.
Robinson.
Yeah,
let's just
So you
hope
just gonna
that
put him
he
on the
pans out.
practice squad? Okay.
he's from Miami.
Miami of Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah,
Ben
that means he must be
Roethlisberger.
pretty good.
Yeah,
He's
right.
a
He ain't gonna
3-4
make it.
rusher.
People
rush
get cut off the
linebacker.
training camp, man.
Development based 3-4 linebacker.
We got to try another one of these so we can actually get us a top tier pick.
Yeah, man. We should get that 10 pick.
Ben Brown.
So we can get us Akeem.
I tell you what, man. There's T. Thompson is saying Ben Brown from Ole Miss. Apparently, I've heard about this dude too.
Bro,
y'all want to double dip?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
but he plays.
Just get Big Brown.
He plays when he wants to, man. I mean, he has no engine.
We'll have 3 people. We'll have 3 Browns on our team, y'all. That got to be cool.
That sounds like a Matt Rule guy right there, bro.
I mean, we're turning it to the Browns, so the whole team might be wearing orange.
Yeah, that's not. By the way, the Browns owner.
But that's just me.
So
that dude has
oh yeah, he's an interior O-line. Line him up right behind Dante Brown, and when the press says who's starting, Brown.
What about a receiver? We only have one receiver.
Man, our
He's
receivers
pretty good with receivers.
Yeah, man, and we're not gonna throw it to him anyway.
Well, yeah, we got Robbie Anderson who got like
the next best
400
available
yards.
receiver is a slot.
Robbie
receiver.
and DJ, baby.
So look, all right. To
Robbie
me,
ain't
it's
number
between. To me, it's between Dominic Robinson or Ben Brown. How y'all want to vote on this?
Let's do a coin flip.
I go Robinson.
It really doesn't matter.
All right, I hear him, Robinson.
Just take BPA, man. Just take
Draft a
Robinson.
kicker. Who's available kicker?
And that's
Matt Rule.
another thing. I don't even think he'll let you draft a kicker.
Nah,
Matt
Well,
Rule
let
getting
you
fired, boy.
it won't let you draft a long snapper either, would it?
Matt Rule gonna get fired because he picked up Pat McAdoo.
I can't believe we didn't get Chase Smith, man. No fly. That blew my mind last year.
All right, that's it.
I can't believe it auto draft.
The first Friday free-for-all mock draft. Not bad if I do say so myself, y'all.
2-15. Woo woo.
Scott Fitterer would have been proud.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying, dude.
All them damn trades we did.
Listen, I think we picked up a damn good, 2 really good interior offensive players on the O-line. I think Jamari Sellier is a beast. I think Lindstrom has a bunch of potential to be really good. Devin Lloyd in the middle of our football field. I love that pick. And hey, y'all, what if Malik Willis turns out to be a franchise quarterback? Like, that's the move, right? Like, that dude can do it all.
I think after his pro day and everything, I think he shoots up the board. I really do.
Well, I think he's a quarterback. He's going to shoot for the board anyway.
Washington.
Twan, I kept on hearing you say no.
let me ask
Why don't you like Malik Willis?
Texans might pick him.
See, one of the things I love, and a lot of people don't like, I love dual threat quarterbacks, man. But with him, I mean, he played at Liberty. I also like guys that play tougher opponents. I just don't like the fact that he's coming out of Liberty, man. They played East, West, Chattanooga, State, Tech, and other teams you've never heard of in your whole life. You know what I'm saying? And you look at the score, he struggled with some of those teams, you know?
I mean,
so
also keep in mind a player like Josh Allen playing for Wyoming.
And then you had Zach Wilson, who showed flashes that he could actually be a decent quarterback.
Right. I like Cal Pickett, man.
Guys, let me ask y'all. What do y'all think is really going to happen in the
I
first
think we're going to
round?
make a pick in the first round, the 6th pick.
You think?
Nah,
you think that we are?
They'll trade back.
I think. Here's my prediction. I think because the whole NFL knows that we want to trade out of the 6th pick, we're not going to be able to trade out of the 6th pick.
Right.
So we're gonna end up having to take the pick, and if we do take the pick, I think we will not let Kyle Hamilton fall past 6. If he's
That's exactly what I was going to say, Dave. Exactly.
I think someone's going
We're not.
to want. I think someone's going to overrate Pickett and think he's going to be a top 5 quarterback and trade up.
I'm going to ask a very dangerous question to you guys. I've already proposed it on my show, and I'm definitely with it. Let me ask you guys: is DJ Moore off? Is he hands off?
He should be traded.
I would trade.
I think he should be traded.
Always.
And here's the thing, man. The reason why My thing is, it has nothing to do with his talent styles. I think it has more
Absolutely
to do
not.
with
At
not
all,
if you
at
know
all, yeah.
if you know that you can't re-sign him, you have to trade him.
Exactly.
I
You
don't
have
think.
to.
I don't.
And are
think
we going
he
to be
stays here.
competitive the next like
I
2
think he
years
wants
or
to
3
leave
years?
Charlotte.
And
I
yeah, we're
really
not
do.
even going to be competitive next year. I mean, a guy like DJ, man, he's going to want his money. He going to want his money, and then if he's putting the stats in with the sorriest quarterbacks that we've
Yeah,
had,
but
you know what I'm
DJ
saying?
wants
He's
a
going to
real
want to go
quarterback.
somewhere and get his money and
He
be
gonna go
better.
to-
I don't
he
think
go
he
to
wants to play in
Kansas City.
Carolina, man. You remember
No.
he never wanted to play for Matt Rule anyway.
Hey, I got a
Yeah,
question.
he didn't want to go to college with him.
Yeah.
I got a question. Don't we owe like Paradis a shit ton of money next year anyway?
Yes.
Are we
we
sure
do.
we're gonna? Are we just gonna keep him?
We don't owe him a ton of
Well,
money. but
his contract voids, but we owe him. We're going to pay him $8 million regardless.
Man.
So now, if I heard Rashad explain this, if we re-sign him, then I think we don't have to pay him $8 million.
That's $8 million, bro.
Yeah, I need to keep
But
him.
like, from my understanding, he wasn't gonna be that much of a difference maker. I mean, he was a free agent. I mean, is he supposed to be on the team next year? I'm looking him up right now. Matt Paradis is a free agent.
Yeah,
But we
His
but we owe
contract
him.
voids. He's a free agent.
We owe him
But
$8
he's
million
also
though.
it's the way they when they rewrote his contract to save cap. That's why.
Man, Carolina's got to stop signing guys to too many years, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop
we
signing
don't
these
get
guys
enough
to too many
bang
years.
for a buck when we sign these dudes.
Was
You
it
know,
the same knee? Didn't he hurt his knee?
we don't get any bang. We get a hand.
I'll be
Right
honest with
now-
you. We should have waited before we re-signed Robbie because
Right.
I could obviously tell that
Absolutely.
his
I said
quality
we-
of play just went to.
I said we
went
should have
into the
traded
grave.
him
Yep.
before the season started.
I wanted, instead of re-signing him, I wanted him to be traded.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That kind of scared me a little bit. I mean, maybe we're gonna trade DJ because that signing didn't make any sense, like at all.
Man, let me tell you something, bro. As a guy who plays football, and I'm sure some of you guys did, nobody wants to play with a guy on a team with a horrible quarterback, especially if you're a wide receiver. Especially if you're a wide receiver, man. They don't. Look, I'm telling you, they're not gonna give it their all, man. That's why you're seeing DJ running these lazy routes now. He's not running his routes all the way through now because they're not expecting to get the ball. And let's be honest with each other, ball usually doesn't reach them.
And
3
we should be
seasons with
using,
1,000 yards. He's
we
had.
should be
Well, like
using him
that-
like
but I mean-
Debo too, man. But we don't use him like Debo because he don't want to be used like Debo.
But okay, but I also think he doesn't get much of a choice if the coaches were telling him, "Hey, we're going to deploy you in these different types of ways," like Debo Samuel. I think he would do it.
I don't think
But
DJ would.
my thing is this: like, when it comes to DJ Moore, like two things can be true. DJ Moore is a really good wide receiver, but to me, he's not a true number one wide receiver.
He's not.
Yeah,
No,
he's not like a Stephon Diggs. He's not like a
He could
DeAndre
be.
Hopkins.
He could be with the right quarterback, though.
Yeah.
But what's more likely? Us fixing the quarterback position and the O-line first, or potentially getting something in return for
Getting
DJ?
some in return, obviously.
He's
If
just the
we can
number
get a-
one on our team.
If we
Let's
can get a
remember.
first
Yeah.
round, if we can get a first round for DJ, that's the only thing I
You
want
don't-
to take.
You don't think the
Let's-
Patriots would give a first round for him?
Oh, you got to get a first round.
I think he would.
You
I think Patriots would.
I
Let's
think the Ra-
let's remember
I think the
DJ
Ravens
Moore
would, too.
volunteered to do kick returns. They wouldn't let him.
DJ ain't gonna get paid in
I mean, he volunteered to do that. He asked to do that, and they let him do it a few times, but didn't want him out there to do it, afraid he'd be hurt.
Kansas City might give up a pick for him.
Nah,
Man,
man,
DJ,
they gonna be in Cap Hill.
DJ don't want to be. Man, DJ didn't want to play for Matt Rule in college. He definitely don't want to play for him now.
Hopefully, the Ravens will give us a first round for him. Or something.
Ravens good.
I'm telling you, if I'm DJ, I stop following the Panthers. I start throwing other teams, and I'm trying to force this situation. Man.
And I love DJ
You
Moore.
go full Antonio Brown.
It's just we haven't made the playoffs since we had him, right?
Right, man. They're wasting his talents.
Yeah, and by the way, I said that for Curtis Samuel too. Like Curtis Samuel, he had a lot of injuries too, but we never got to see the kind of player that Curtis Samuel was intended to be because we never had anyone that could throw it over the top. Like we should have been using Curtis Samuel like our own version of Tyreek Hill. But we just didn't have a quarterback that could throw the ball over the top like that. So we had to use him in that kind of Deebo Samuel kind of fashion, running him on jet sweeps out the backfield and shit like that. And I think the same as that, it's going to end up being true for DJ. We have not seen the best of DJ Moore, but you're also not going to see the best of DJ Moore as a Panther.
Not as a Panther.
Until we get this. Like, he's going to go somewhere else and blow up. He'll have a better quarterback. But here, like, what's the likelihood of that happening this year, man? I don't know. It just doesn't seem very likely.
Is he going to blow up, though, or is he going to be the same player?
No, he's going to blow. He's gonna blow.
He's gonna blow.
Shoot,
I've seen him drop.
Can you imagine putting him with Aaron Rodgers with Green Bay?
That would be dangerous.
Look at Cooper Kupp this year compared to last year.
Cooper was hurt. Cooper was hurt the previous year, but the year before that he was balling. Right?
Yeah.
I love DJ. I just don't know how much it helps the team the next 4 years.
Sometimes you gotta let go of what you love, man, to get something better to go in the right direction.
I say trade
McCaffrey. Would you trade DJ Moore to the Ravens for their backup quarterback, Huntley? I can't pronounce that.
First round.
Nah, no backup.
I'm not finished.
That's too high of a risk.
No backup.
I'm not even finished yet.
Sorry about that.
For the backup quarterback, the second and third pick, and next year's first.
I'd do that.
They ain't doing that.
That's a lot.
Well,
that's a lot to ask for.
Listen, if they said that's their problem what they do next year.
We got a whole bag for DJ.
I tell you what, because I'm a nice guy, I'll throw in CMC with him. How's that?
No.
Sam Darnold.
We'll be nice and send the Matt Rule.
What would we get for CMC?
You get nothing but a third rounder. Maybe
CMC can get you 2 seconds, though. He can get you 2 seconds.
I doubt that.
I
think,
man, listen. What I said earlier,
he's been hurt for the last.
At least 4 teams out there that will overpay for him.
Yeah,
he's been on IR for the last 2 seasons.
I think a team will give us a second since we're eating the money.
Now, listen,
we're eating this contract regardless.
This is the thing with CMC. We got to be honest with each other, man. We live in America. I'm not trying to make it that way. But CMC is a white, fast running back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's like Captain America in that backfield to some people in their eyes.
Right.
Even if he doesn't bring the talent with him, he's going to put butts in seats certain places, bro.
Yeah, because he's a phenom. You're right.
But that's why they paid
are going to overpay for him based on what he's going to bring. Look, man, if Tebow's out here still getting jobs, Christian McCaffrey is going to go get 10 times of that.
I'm telling you, you ain't getting them but a third, maybe a late second.
You can get 2 seconds for him.
Nah.
Yeah, a team like Kansas City or the Rams, they would.
You saw the fact. Look, we didn't play him for the rest of the year, so we didn't put more miles on him. You know what I'm saying? He just had bad luck with us. You got to sell that, unless you're gonna bring him back next year. Hopefully, he has a great, decent first half of it by trade deadline. Get rid of him. But what sense would that make then?
I wouldn't put anything past this regime, though.
Here's what the other teams are looking at.
I get what you're
sending him to him fresh.
I get what you're saying.
If we're going to cut him next year, then yes.
I do.
We're definitely not cutting him.
Here's what I
say.
say.
They ain't going to cut him, bro.
The other teams are going to see a guy who's been spent most of the year. In the last 2 years, he's played 10 games whole. He's spent more time on IR or hurt than he has playing.
Yeah, but we're eating the contract.
Large contract. He's talented, but he's got a super large contract.
What did the Rams get for Gurley?
Nothing. They cut him.
And a lot of teams don't like him because he's too small. He doesn't fit what they want.
Cody, what do you
think? Out of the backfield, but even in the press conference at the end of the year, they asked him about lining up in slot, and he said no.
Yeah, bro, but that's the thing. He doesn't just play running back.
We are eating his contract regardless. So a team could like, hey, I'll give you a second. You're eating all the money. He's only going to cost me $3 million.
Yeah, but if you're an opposing team, why would you give up a second-round pick? You can draft a running back and do that.
Well, it depends on who that team is and how far away they are.
It ain't gonna be Chris McCaffrey for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like it depends on what team we're talking about. That who's making the trade for him. Like, if you're a team that's close to being a win-now football team, you might be okay with giving up a little more for Christian.
Patriots?
Hell no. Bill Belichick ain't doing that shit.
Yeah, Bill Belichick doesn't. He's not going to value running backs like that.
He's going to draft 4 of them and play all 4 of them.
I don't know. He likes tiny white dudes.
He does.
He traded running back to the Rams last year.
What was Randy Moss's contract when he traded for him? Like, was it a big contract when he had with the Raiders?
Randy got paid, bro.
Yeah.
But when he got paid twice, and then he the second time he couldn't get paid.
Randy was one of the few people that actually got paid going there.
If you look at Belichick, he only pays like high name players, and then if you're really good at cornerback, he'll cash you out.
You also got to remember the Browns are still talking about trying to trade Kareem Hunt. So,
I would, because that backup Johnson, that's
what I'm saying. If somebody's going to try to trade him, he makes a lot less than Christian McCaffrey.
I thought we were the Browns.
They could probably get him cheaper than McCaffrey.
Kareem Hunt has also been more available than McCaffrey has. I feel.
Exactly.
I mean, he was hurt this year.
What was the Johnson's guy's name? I can't remember. The third stringer came in that nobody knew about. Yeah, somebody could trade for him for cheaper.
How about Cam Akers coming back from that Achilles that quick, bro? That's remarkable, man.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, man.
FSU.
I remember wondering, like following his recruitment, wondering where he was going to go to college, and then he finally decided on Florida State. Which, frankly, I don't know. That's kind of a bad move for him, man. He probably could have been evaluated.
Hey, watch your mouth, Cody.
Hey, bro, I'm a Clemson fan. I can talk my
shit. Watch your mouth, Cody.
All we do is beat up Florida State, bro. That's all day, bro.
We'll see.
All day.
We'll see FSU this year.
I'm gonna finish Ozark, bro. I'll let you later.
Say it one more time, Chad. I couldn't hear you.
I said I'm finna be out, man. I'm gonna finish up Ozark. You have a good night.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching Ozark tonight, man. Yeah, I appreciate you joining me, man.
The new one started tonight?
Yeah, God bless you later, brother.
Huh?
Yeah, they uploaded a new episode of Ozarks, the final season. Final season.
So we got a Seminole fan in here, huh?
Yeah, all day, man. Seminoles all day.
Hey, I got a lot of respect for FSU, but
you and Rashad can bond. Then,
week 1 against us? Nah, man. Nah.
Who was us?
LSU, bro.
Oh, that program's
ain't nobody worried about
that. Don't laugh.
I can't laugh.
But you know what? I will give him his credit because any team that's got rings, and that's with an S, you gotta respect.
Fact.
You know, if you ain't got no rings, you don't get to argue.
Yeah, that's why I give FSU some respect, man. I like them a lot.
Yeah, man. My Clemson Tigers had a down year, but we'll be back, man. We'll be back running the ACC next year.
Bro, the Clemson Tigers' biggest problem on that team right now is just like our team, Matt Rule. Jimbo is outdated. He don't want to succumb to how things are done now, and guys ain't gonna want to play for him, man.
You know who they need? You know who Clemson needs? Yeah. Clemson needs Joe Brady. That's who they need.
Send them there.
No.
Joe Brady as assistant head coach.
And then they'll be right back where they were about 6 years ago, winning nothing.
I mean, Joe Brady was the one that diced us up in the national championship.
No, Joe Burrow did.
I mean, yeah,
Brady ain't had nothing to do with that play call.
No.
Y'all gotta let Chad go and tell him.
No. Steve Ensminger was the whole mastermind behind that whole. I mean, Brady brought the spread. Yeah. I'm about 30 minutes from Baton Rouge.
Oh, my wife is from New Orleans, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the house with an LSU and the Saints fans. I have to hear all that crap.
Man, bro, my whole I think I told this to Chad before. My whole family is from Louisiana, man.
Yeah.
So so you ever heard of
Good culture?
Placerville?
Good culture in Louisiana, man.
Bro, there's a podunk little town called Placerville, Louisiana.
Placerville?
Placerville.
Placerville, yeah.
Yeah, Placerville, Louisiana. That's where my peoples are from. But my brother is a diehard LSU fan. Saints fan as well. So those Panthers Saints matchups are always lit over.
Hey, what I love about those fans over in Louisiana, man, those people never give up on their teams, bro.
They don't. They don't.
Yeah.
Ever. Do whatever.
Them same fans that were wearing paper bags were in the crowds when the Saints started winning. The same ones.
Yeah, no.
Those same fans are still there.
I wanted to bring something up.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I read on Twitter that we've got some coaches or scouts that's going to be involved in the Senior Bowl. Have y'all heard that?
In the Senior Bowl? No, I didn't.
Yeah. I know Luke Kuechly's going to be some sort of captain in the Pro Bowl, but
is it me? I never give a shit about the Senior Bowl. I just don't.
I like to watch it. I watched it the year Matt Rule coached it. I watched all the practices and stuff. I knew right away that he didn't.
It's like the Pro Bowl, really.
All right, you said you got to roll.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you.
I appreciate you, Chad. Good hanging out, man.
All right, guys. I'll see y'all soon. I'll see y'all next Friday.
Later, Chad.
Exactly. Hey, Chad.
When I watched Matt Rule there, I saw a lot of stuff then that I knew. I remember, I can't prove it, but I remember him looking at that long snapper and said, "I'm gonna draft him if I ever could." Or if something.
Oh my God.
He did. just like the guard that Kansas City took. He wouldn't let him practice much. They was in a goal line drill and he wouldn't let him practice much. He kept telling him, "You stand over there. Your health. You've got health issues. You need to stand over there."
Well, that quote right there should have been the sign.
I mean, all that stuff appeared, and then the draft come in. It's like, well, damn almighty. So, I mean, all that's to watch it. You learn little tiny things, but you got to catch it. So,
yeah.
Hey, Cody, I'm about to head out too, man.
No, man. Look, actually, I was getting ready to end the show, man.
Matt Rule's garbage. Every time we say Rule, I get nauseous.
Yeah, man. It's almost 3 hours that we've been doing this, man. Look, I appreciate every single one of you coming to hang out, man. Twan, glad you could finally join the show, man. I've been a fan of listening to you rap on Big Cat's podcast for a while now, man. Anybody got anything they want to plug before we get out of here?
I want to plug something real quick. Actually, I'm more on my own show now, the 704 Charlotte Bound show, which for all of y'all that 704 Charlotte, he was on all of y'all's podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
That was our brother, man.
Yeah.
Shit,
So,
we still do prayers up for 704, man.
So that's like it was like one of my best friends, man. So I was the one that told everyone when he had passed away. So I promised his family, his mom, his brother, that his name would ring on. So I changed it. We were originally Never Scared. So I changed the name to the 704 Charlotte Bound podcast. And if you know somebody, send them our way. You know what I'm saying? We do shows just like this. All our shows are live. And we just talk football, man. No nonsense. We don't do the trolls thing and all that other crap. You know what I'm saying? But just a fresh show about real football, people with real opinions. And I'm very specific with who I bring on there. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like to bring on trolls and shit like that. So yeah, man, we just keep his name going. So if you subscribe to that channel, that would be great, man.
Yeah, man, tell them the name of that channel one more time.
The 704 Charlotte Bound Show.
704 Charlotte Bound Show.
And I want to also say shout out to Dave, man, with PNP. I check all you guys out, man. You know what I'm saying? All of y'all got flavor. You know what I'm saying? I see Dave over there in PNP. He's one of my favorites over there. You know what I'm saying? I always like Cody. Cody's been my favorite for a long time. I always wanted to work with this guy. You know what I'm saying? And I just think everybody's dope, man. You know what I'm saying? I love guys that just love talking to sport. You know what I'm saying? And just being real about this Carolina football team.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna have to come and hang out with you one of these nights, man. Let me know when y'all.
Anybody on here is welcome. Anybody.
Yeah, when y'all do the show, yeah, you know, I'll come hang out, man.
I'll give a plug for Rashad because Rashad we always had the hashtag no credentials, but he finally got credentials to the Senior Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be out there for the Senior Bowl for a couple of days.
Oh yeah,
Trying to figure out a plan.
Cool.
I think it might be a good thing that Matt Rule's not coaching because I'm pretty sure that Rashad will be.
Hey man,
but either way, just keep an eye out for that because I know he's going to be flying out there for. He's going to head out to Alabama for a couple of days and check it out. I think it's dope. I'm happy for him, so I know he's gonna kill it when he get out there.
Dope,
shout out to Chad, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Chad, man. Shout out to everybody who joined us today.
So, if any of you guys send me your information, man, and you invite guests, I love to come on any of these shows, man. And just, I love this, man. You know what I'm saying? This is great.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, we do this every Friday at 7, man. Come hang out, man. We're gonna do this some more, dog.
Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Kevin.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, anybody else have anything you want to plug before we get out here? Kevin, my man, how you doing, brother? I appreciate you joining the show, man.
I'm good. I ain't got shit to plug.
All right.
You kept it simple.
Plug in a new coach.
Right?
KPM, I appreciate you joining us, man. You want to say anything before we get out of here?
No, I just wanted to say I wish I could have gotten here a little bit sooner. I was out eating. Just want to say thank you for Dave for showing up. I think Rashad's probably still rolling on the floor from where I said my coach joke yesterday on Charlotte Vibes stream. So,
listen, man.
That's that one.
What was the joke?
Listen, yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Okay, so we were making. I was pointing out to Chris from Charlotte Vibe that he kept adjusting his mic because his audio kept cutting in and out. So I asked him how many times has he adjusted his mic, and he's like, I got nothing. And I said we could all point out that you've made more adjustments in the Panthers coaching staff all season.
Yeah, I remember that. I was there. I remember that.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Rashad lost it.
And Kenneth Panther Pickle, I appreciate you joining us, bro. You have anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
No, I go to all of them. I've been to Cat's show. I've chimed in on PNP a long time, and y'all send me all around.
Hey man, look, my mindset is for all the Panthers YouTubers, the rising tide lifts all boats, man.
Yeah.
We can all catch that come up together, man. There's enough for everybody. So
there it is.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you all. It was a fantastic Friday free for all, man. Ben McAdoo is our offensive coordinator. It is what it is, Panther Nation. We're gonna be here for one another. But
that's all we can do. These therapy sessions are gonna last.
Therapy session on
we're gonna have different. We're gonna call them different names every week for 18 weeks. Even the bye week, we might need a therapy session.
Yeah, we might have to, man. That's what we're here for, man. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All. My name is Cody Lashley. I appreciate you joining me as always. And until next time, Panther Nation,
keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Keep trying.